Hey, sorry we're late. Welcome back to the Hotel Orloff on this wonderful May 15th, 2023, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon. And we have a special guest this evening, Night Tiger Comics.
Oh, great cult leader, it is a privilege to come and
Let's see.
check into the hotel.
Let me turn this music down in the other room. How you doing, Night Tiger?
I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome. I'm doing even better than that. How's everybody else doing tonight? Got to go to work early tomorrow, but just enjoying Saturday, relaxing. I told the wife, sorry about not doing the dishes this weekend. Okay, Steve, stop texting
you all know
me.
Night Tiger, and Night Tiger is amazing because of your enthusiasm for the hobby and so.
Is it me or is it you? Because you're frozen.
It's going disaster. All right.
Is that you that froze, or was that me?
Yeah, it was me. I may have to unplug my Wi-Fi and put it back in here in a second. We'll see what's going on. I've got like 2 bars. Anyway,
I just like playing in the sandbox. That's all.
Playing in the stocks?
Playing in the sandbox, the comic room.
No, is it
playing with the cool kids.
Cool kids.
Okay, don't make me come over there. You better unfreeze. No, we got Friar Tucks in here. What's up, brother? Okay, Gratu, come back to us. Come back. He's digitally cryogenically frozen.
All right, just a second.
Okay, he's going to unplug and plug back into the Matrix. We will have our cult leader back with us. Do not panic. Do not worry. So I come tonight bearing gifts, showing off newly acquired comics. I got a pile of comic book keys. I've been actually going through the whole collection and trying to round up all my gold keys and put them in one corral. Because I picked up, what's up, Friar Tuck? I picked up free, thanks to Falco Meister. He's on Instagram. I got a free killer. Okay, I don't know what happened. Hopefully I'm still on the show. I don't want to tell this story if I don't know if I'm still on the show. But anyways, Falco Meister is a great guy. He's like he's 17. One of the community. I called him up on Instagram. We were having a chat, and I just didn't want to text. I didn't want to text this like long story. Okay, I'm still here. Okay, so I didn't want to text such a long story, so I called him on Instagram. I'm like, what the heck? I like doing that. It freaks people out. Some people are cool. I make good friends. I just call people in the community if we get into some kind of semi-small chat about something, and whatever reason, if there's a good reason, I'll go ahead and just call them. Gratsu's gone. Okay, well, hopefully he'll come back. If not, we'll see what happens. So anyway, there he is. Called up Falco Meister. All right, he's back.
All right, things should be better now. I was watching.
You're frozen. You're frozen.
I'm frozen again.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can hear you. I can hear your voice. You're caught in a
I may need to move this
there.
computer upstairs right next to the router.
You do what you got to do. You just tell me what I need to do. I can carry the show. I can do whatever you need. It's like watching old television. Let me tune it in on the
Is it
UHF
working
channel.
now?
No, you just froze again.
Not really.
There you're unfroze. You froze. Let me tune you in on the UHF
Okay, I'm gonna.
dial. There you go. Well, you're so far. So far. Anyways, yep,
Did
you're
he?
good. You're not freezing now.
Okay. All right. You were talking about talking to people on Instagram. I didn't hear the
Whatever.
beginning of the story.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, whatever platform, but um, you have these conversations with people for whatever reason, and just happened we started talking about something. A lot of times on Instagram, people reach out to me to share things, and so he did that. And so I called him because we were talking and I had this killer story, but I'm like, I don't want to text this whole thing. So I called him on Instagram and he was in Germany. He said he was 17. He collects comics. He's got some really cool stuff, some golden age graded stuff and stuff like that, keys. So that's pretty cool. And so he wins he enters a lot of contests, like it has to do with Pokemon card stuff like that. And he wins a lot. So he asked me, "Can I send you the winnings? Because they won't send them overseas. They don't ship overseas." I'm like, "Yeah." So he sent me some good stuff. I traded one thing in for I got $100 credit, and I got a really this store was picked through, but he had some dollar boxes for the free comic book day the next day. He's like, "Oh, you can go through these if you want." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, $25. And then everything 50 cents. So the first box I found a killer gold key and Dell. And then one of the last boxes I found a lot of nice gold key, early gold key, high grade gold key, like Daniel Boone, like 1 through 7 or something like that. Bonanza, early Bonanza books. Some weird ones like what was it called? Jamie McPherson was a TV show. Kurt Russell was the star. He was only like 8 years old.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, he's on the cover of this book.
Um,
Let me show it to you.
Jamie McFeeters. Yeah, I don't know that.
Jamie McPherson. That's Kurt Russell right there. So first appearance, yeah. Kurt Russell in comics.
Yeah, how about that?
And this is number 1. So it ended up costing me $0. It would have came out to 70 cents if I actually had paid for it. So shout out to Falco Meister. He just sent me a picture of a Pokemon card graded like 9.0 or something that's on the way over to my house. So he's like, it's worth $20-$30. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll do that. I got this book, number 1. If I can find it now. Jesse James. The Legend of Jesse James.
I don't remember that TV series. I bet.
But just cool stuff. I love this. And every time they put a photo on the cover, they put the actor's name next to it.
What is the actor's name?
Chris Jones right here. And this guy is Alan Case. Alan Case.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alan Case looks familiar to me.
Yeah, I think Gold Key would get these licenses for TV series. And before they knew it was going to be a hit. And
What else?
then
There's some
they'd
really good
keep
stuff
going
here.
with some of these series long after they were canceled. Like they went on with Dark Shadows maybe 5-6 years after it was canceled. Same thing with Star Trek. Oh boy, I probably need to move the computer. This is really disastrous.
Check out these really, really nice condition. So the next day he posts a picture on Instagram of everybody going through the short boxes. And I'm thinking, oh, you suckers. I got everything. You know, sarcastically. Suckers. So that's Bonanza, dude. Number 7. I love how Gold Key did this kind of funky 70s kind of like color blotch background on all the books. Kind of period, gave it the period look of the 70s. You know what I'm talking about? Like, look at this one. It's got these color, whatever you want to call them, underneath the graphics. But then you take this one, this photo's cover, full photo cover with the title. But still, you still have kind of like that funky color, green and yellow. This is my favorite. What's Friar Tuck saying? How's the artwork in that Bonanza? I have not read them. I haven't cracked these open yet, but it's Gold Key. You better not expect anything too spectacular inside. As long as the story's fun, that's all I can expect from a Gold Key. It's a really good cover right here too. But yeah, so these were basically, it's like the store owner didn't like care nothing about this stuff. I don't know if he went through it or not. And it was all unbagged, unboarded. It looked like, you know, it had been all together for years. It had that, they all were molded the same way. If you know what I'm talking about. So Grotz, we lost him again. Okay, recent pickup. So I got $100 credit. Like I said, the store was pretty much picked clean of any big books. I was one that probably helped do it. But I picked this up. It had $25 on it for the credit, and come to realize I already had it. But it's not her first appearance, but it's her return. So I don't know how that goes.
All right, I'm back.
He's back, folks. Okay.
This should work better now. I thought I could do it from the front porch. It doesn't look like it was working tonight.
Looks like you're pretty good right there.
Yeah, I'm right next to the router. I was buying a Wi-Fi extender down there, and I just thought it'd be fun to broadcast from the porch and watch the world go by. But
what's up,
it's gonna have to
Steve?
be this way. It looks like. So yeah, showing Blackhawk.
Oh yeah, I was just saying I had that credit for that.
Uh-huh.
So this young guy, this young adult, Falco Meister on Instagram, follow him. He's been sending me prizes they won't ship to him that he wins.
Yeah.
And he sent me a Pokemon card set.
Right.
I have no clue what it is. I didn't open it. It was still sealed. I took it to the store and they said, I'll give you $100. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. I was expecting like 20, 30. Because to be honest, the bigger store said, oh, I got too many of those. I don't even want it. And so I sweet talked him into trading it for some Mylar, like a Mylar pack.
Yeah.
But man, if I'm going to get $100 credit at the other store, screw that. I'll take that.
Yeah.
But they had a Hulk 102 and I need that and I'm going to get one, but it was like jacked, man. It was like somebody fought over it 3-4 ways.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, for $100. The guy's like, I'll trade you even. And I'm like, well, let me look at it. And I'm like, nah. Thank goodness I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, as you shop on eBay or you window shop, whatever you want to call it. I'm seeing these books. I got like 40 of them, gold keys, early stuff. So as I'm shopping, I'm seeing that people are wanting 15, $30. And the ones I got are like in really nice shape.
But are people getting that much money?
Who knows? Who could say?
You just got to look at the completed sales, because I thought
Yeah.
we were the
Who
only
wants to do
people
that work?
collecting gold key.
Yeah, it's the real fanatics. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I'm just afraid the real fanatics are like a dozen people, and we know all of them.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
more we talk about it, the more they want them. And then we're creating an illusion in our minds that there's more demand, because it seems like most comic stores can't get rid of Gold Key or a Charlton, but we love it.
Let me show you a nice one that was in there.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing now, where is it? So what I've been doing now that I, got a nice healthy stack of Gold Key, I decided to go ahead and bring them all home into the hive because they're all spread out. I don't even know what I have in Gold Key besides what I just bought.
Yeah.
And so far I went through a quarter of the collection, and I got a pretty jacked, stacked, packed short box right here. Yeah, this was a nice one. It's really nice shape too.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, Zorro.
But I mean, it's high grade, dude.
Yeah. That's great.
You know how it is. Everybody comes across that 3-4 times and they're collecting 5, 6, whatever it is, where you get that sweet deal that you just can't. You just kind of just ride the high for a long time.
Yeah.
So, do you ever like have a book in your collection and you're like, you love it so much you want to have like a second copy, or if you see one for a deal, you buy it? Or
Yeah. That tends to happen with me when if I find a copy of Not Brand Ech, or
right.
certain books, very few, but if it's something that really meant a lot to me as a kid and I just see it there for a couple of bucks in a store. Wow, look at that, Western Crime Busters.
Well, I just got this.
Did you? That's pretty good.
So these are pricey. Collectors want these, but I already had a copy. So.
Yeah, it's weird.
But this is a book I feel like anytime I see it for affordable, I'm gonna try to grab it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's great. It bridges two different genres, Western and crime.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's a lot of the covers in this actual title have like Good Girl.
But you run across that particular comic a lot? Because I've never seen it in my life.
You don't. That's the thing. You don't.
Yeah.
So if you buy them when they pop up for 50 or less, you keep them off the market, you control the price. Well, I mean, it sounds crazy, but in actuality, it's really true.
Yeah.
If you find books that are really, really uncommon, and they only go for, nobody really knows what they are, but other people do. So if you can get them under those radars, every now and then, you could really control the market on the book.
Yeah. Well, I moved the computer upstairs, and it seems to have fixed the Wi-Fi issue. Problem
you disappeared. Where'd you go?
Gold Key comics downstairs. So now I'm going to go grab them. I'm going to feed this dog that's bugging me.
Okay, I'm going to try to put the comments up, but
I'll be right back.
I can't. Night Tiger needs to show some interior artwork on his books. Yes, I do. Matter of fact, I cracked this open when I got it, and it is gorgeous. So let me see which one I'm going to crack open. This one. And this one I like. It has a dealer mark on it. But I only looked at the first splash page, and it was really killer. Let me put this light down a little bit. Oh. No. Okay, 6 gun. Okay, so my last name is Smith. So check this out. 6-Gun Sexy Smith. Some gorgeous art. A lot of these smaller publishers from the 50s and the late 40s that have Western comics, the art and the stories inside are incredible. Like that Gunsmoke from Youthful Magazine. I've been kind of working on a project with that, and the interior is really good on that. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at this panel. Next one. So I paid for this book. I think I paid $56 with shipping and tax and everything. But they had like $68, and I offered them $45. Is that right? Yeah, and then with the tax and shipping and all that, man, just ate up the win. Nice panel though. A good girl. Western Crime Busters. I don't know how many issues this is. There's quite a few issues. I think it's like 9 or 10 or something. Could be wrong. I don't know. That's one I got to do research on. I just know that this issue is one I know.
All right, I'm back.
He's back, Pete.
Oh, that Crime Busters, yeah.
Yeah, the interiors. A lot of like I was saying, a lot of these small publishers in the 50s and early 40s that did westerns, the interiors were really good. A lot of good girl stuff. So I found this for $2, I think, and it's a complimentary copy.
Huh.
So that's a reprint by the Cerebral Palsy Association of Oakland, California.
I see.
1970. Beetle Bailey Charlton. So promo comic. These guys, man, on YouTube, they have got me in another black hole into promo comics.
Okay. Metarog?
Yeah, Metarog, Black Box, Silver, and Bronze.
Uh-huh.
And then it seems like now as you watch other haul videos, it's like people are catching on to the fever. They'll pepper in like a promo here, a promo there.
Uh-huh.
There a promo here, a promo everywhere, a promo. So, dude, check this out. I got this.
Oh, yeah. Little Monsters.
Now, that's not one I got in the collection. I just bought this one yesterday. But I got one of these in the collection, too.
So, is that a promo?
No, this is just the Whitman variant.
Oh, Whitman. Yeah.
But it's the Little Monsters. I
Right.
love the
Little
monster
Monsters
titles.
is great. It's a great comic.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the first Little Monsters you've had?
No, I have one I got in that collection, and I read it.
Uh-huh.
And then I got this one the next weekend.
Yeah, it's weird because they had the license to the Munsters, and that's basically a Munsters imitation. So they had the real Munsters, and well, that's kind of like a mix between the Munsters and the Addams Family. That may have started actually. Little Monsters may have started before the Munsters went on the air, but it's basically like the Munsters, except everyone in the family is a Frankenstein monster. The wife, the kids, they're all the same. And yeah, that's a great comic.
Okay, so what else did I get? Oh, so I got this. I went back because I picked up a Golden Age Casper a few weeks ago, and now I picked up a second Golden Age Casper. So this is pre-code.
Uh-huh.
And, so the pre-code says Paramount Pictures famous star Casper the Friendly Ghost, and this is number 25.
Okay, yeah. But
he's got a much different look there.
Yeah, the all those characters in their infancy, they had giant heads, and then the heads got smaller as the 50s went on, but just look at the very first Hot Stuff. He has a giant head.
So really cool. I think that's a really cool cover. Harvey Comics, of course.
Right.
And I picked up. Let's see, where the heck did I do with that? Oh, I don't know. I put it somewhere. Anyways, this is the one I paid up for, and because it's really nice shape. I paid $15 for this. So this was 15 cents originally. So for every penny, I paid $1.
Okay. That's really interesting. Was there an animated Little Rascals at some point in the 60s? I didn't think there
I
was.
don't know.
It almost looks like that was. Is there anything at the bottom that says the name of a studio? Like
It says Roach. What's his Carl Roach?
okay, that's Roach Studios. So yeah, they must have just done their own caricatures of Little Rascals.
I know this is a sweet book, and it's in really nice condition for
And
15
they've
bucks.
drawn.
So, dude, here's what I had in my hand. You're not going to believe this. So, everybody sit down. And just in case, I don't want anyone to have a heart attack, but I had a Marvel key in one hand.
Right.
A major character, first appearance. It was a newsstand, and it was from the 90s. So
Okay,
it was from a newsstand, so that makes it more valuable.
But when you said 90s, it made me not as
okay,
excited.
okay, but just stick with me.
All
Stick
right.
with me. And it was 15 bucks, and it was like a 9A copy. I mean, it was gorgeous. So I had that Marvel key, and then I was walking around picking stuff, you're choosing whatever. Then I found this book for 15, and I quickly put that Marvel key down. I'm like, garbage.
Okay.
So it was the first appearance of Squirrel Girl.
Okay.
You're not shocked?
I know who Squirrel Girl is, but I would put
isn't that
down for like
amazing?
a cover that was for almost anything.
So
Squirrel Girl was in some. I'd get that way over Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl was in
threw Squirrel Girl away. She wasn't a flying squirrel either. So I threw her away. She hit the wall, may have killed her, but this was right away. This book was like, I gotta have, the angels are singing, dude, kind of thing.
You ever been into National Lampoon, Steve?
Mike,
sorry.
Okay. No, it's no problem.
It's like everyone in the community is Steve or Mike. And
right.
That was my two brothers' names are Steve and Mike. So it's like, I'm going to get it right.
Steve and Mike. We're doing a show.
Okay.
We're working. We're
50%.
behind this.
Okay.
We're behind
my
the
real
scenes.
name is Kenneth, just so everyone knows. But anyway, so Mike and I forgot my question. What was my question?
Was I into lampooning?
The National Lampoon magazine.
No, but I actually do have this issue. Hold on, let me show it. It's a killer issue.
I was gonna tell you something because Squirrel Girl reminded me of an issue.
Tell me.
Oh well, National Lampoon did a parody of a high school yearbook from 1964 that was really kind of the inspiration for the Animal House film, but they also in the early days of National Lampoon magazine were fantastic, and they had parodies of Conan the Barbarian that they brought in Barry Smith to do the art. They had Neil Adams.
I have that. Let me show it.
Yeah, and they have a special issue about the history of comics. That's hilarious.
This is what I have.
That's probably what you've got with the girl in the museum on the cover.
They had at the shop, actually the shop where I got all these gold keys. They had a box of all the National Lampoons, but all of them had naked covers, except for that comic one was the only one that didn't.
That had what on the cover?
All the covers had a naked woman on them.
Well, they didn't always have that on the cover.
No, but I'm saying they had
those issues there.
Yeah, and this one was the only one where she wasn't. The woman wasn't showing anything, so I grabbed it.
Probably best of issues. I think they tended to do that on the best of compilation issues.
And I'm like, okay, and this is the coolest one because it has the comic aspect to it.
But anyway, okay. Oh, that one. Well, that's not the one I'm talking about. I know that one. That's a collection of the comics from.
This one's cool, especially the Dead Man in here.
Yeah, those are reprints from the comic. That they had a.
Oh, it is.
They had a Dead Man comic. They had a Fat Man. Well, they had a Batman and Robin when they're elderly, and it looked just like a DC comic. They had a parody of Sergeant Fury that was just dead on, perfect. Yes, and that's Neil Adams, right?
Yep.
Or some, I don't remember who did that, but I remember seeing that in the original magazine.
Yeah, but this is really cool, man. It was $1. It was $1, dude. People actually trying to sell this for like $100.
Okay, well, so anyway, what I was trying to tell you about, they did a parody of a Sunday newspaper. It was printed on newspaper, folded, and it was from the same town of I think Faber, where they had all it looks like they've reprinted a lot of the comic parodies in that issue. But anyway, they had a parody of Peanuts, but they had a parody of a Spider-Man color comic strip, and it looked like Ramita had drawn it. It was very close to his style, but it was the Amazing Squirrel Man, and it was like a great costume with a bushy tail, and that's as I recall, a parody of Bob Dylan. Yeah, but anyway, Squirrel Girl. When I've never read a
Squirrel Girl. Give me a break.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's a key issue to somebody. It's not to some. I could care less.
You know, her theme song could be "Give me a break, give me a break, Squirrel Girl, Squirrel."
Yeah, I don't know.
Squirrel Girl.
That's not. That's I don't know who that's for.
I almost bought a Squirrel Girl. What am I doing? Am I going insane?
Well, no, but everything laid out perfectly downstairs, and I'm trying to, reconnoiter here.
I got some books I set aside especially for you.
Okay.
Just because I know that you like horror.
Okay.
You like oddities. So I got a stack of comics picked out just for your tastes.
Okay.
So let me put this back. And before I do that, let me show this. You ever just go through your Okay, for once, I want to make a point, though. Don't we all just ever just look for that? Another reason to go through the collection, just to go through. So, pulling the gold keys out at the same time, the Charltons, the Harveys, the promos. I'm having fun. I'm like, oh, this is fun. So then I also have the Atlas from 75 and the Archies. I have a few Archies peppered in. I'm like, you know what? I'll leave those for later. And I'll have fun. I'll have fun some other time, just picking them out. But anyways, you ever just see a cover and you're like, oh, there's another cover that goes with that. It should go together. You know what I'm saying? So I saw this one a while back, which is a killer cover, Kirby cover. So Vader's number 3.
Yeah.
Patriotic. Look at that in the background. It has the billboard. It says buy war bonds. That's so cool. So I was like, man, I just seen it the other day again because I haven't read it yet. So I go through it and I look and see, oh, wow, what a dynamic cover. It's so cool. The buy war bonds is cool. But then I saw this and I forgot that I had it. So in the background, it says buy war bonds.
So those would look good together on a wall.
And you got the killer Wonder Woman fighting Cheetah. Yeah, so they're like companion books.
Yeah.
Even though they're quite a few years apart. But
just a couple years apart.
This one's 77 and this one, 2 years. But still, cool books.
I'm trying to find that squirrel man that I was trying to describe here. Oh, there it is.
Oh, you're like this. My LCS owner. Once I got all those gold keys, he ran up to the counter. Why didn't you get this? You missed this. I can't believe you missed it. He's razzing on me.
Oh,
because he's like, I always look for all the keys or go through the books and pick everything out. So he's like, you forgot that. I'm like, I didn't see it, dude. Everybody started laughing. He's like, it was there. You could. Then I said, I didn't see it. And then he's like, oh, I get it. Because it's invisible.
All right.
Anyway,
it's
cool when you what you got there.
That is what I was telling you about, the parody of
Squirrel Boy.
Well, hold on,
Squirrel
I gotta
Man.
redo this. Squirrel Man, yeah. Let me blow up the blow up. Anyway,
they should have a team like Woodchuck and Gopher. Squirrel Girl could be the leader. All the guys could be like, Dang! And just be like, the thugs, like in like a Batman villain thug. Henchman, her henchman, Gopher. He could look like Gopher from the Love Boat. Hey.
So I just think
Squirrel Man, that's pretty cool.
The bite of a radioactive squirrel has given teenager Billy Barlow all the power and strength of that wily creature.
So I could go get out my art. I actually have a character that I did called Skunk.
Really?
Yeah.
I like this. I'll crack your skull like a walnut and bury your brains in the park. I've got you up a tree this time.
I have never
out, so drop that test tube.
I have never shown my art in any videos.
Have you not? I've seen your
art.
Have you seen some? Send it with prizes.
Maybe, yeah, but I mean, just like 2 or 3 pieces.
But
I've done quite a few comic books. Let me see. Let me go into the bowels here of the Night Tiger lair where everything falls. You have one of those probably. You tip a thing and everything falls out. You're like, damn it.
Yeah.
Here we go. The avalanche of death.
Yeah.
And it's always stuff that you keep like, I'm going to use that one day. I know I
am. Carlton, you'll actually see me bagging and boarding a comic with a bag that you sent me as a birthday present. So.
Oh, me?
I was talking to Charlton. He's in the
chat. Nice. Wow, that's a nice copy too.
Yeah. I don't remember. No, this is not my childhood copy at all. This is one I bought later.
But anyways, I want to see if I can find some skunk material in here.
Oh yeah.
Skunky skunk.
Yeah, Dr. Silverage and Shannon last 2 Saturdays have been showing off their artwork. Oh, let me blow you up here.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. What age were you when you did that?
Ooh, I don't even remember, dude. Oh, it was 90s. Here's the whole comic right here. It's in one sleeve. Here's the splash. Bloodshed. Yeah. Oh, cool. I thought it was hot shit to myself. I just did it for a hobby. I got together with one guy one time and he was inking. It was really fun. We only did like a couple pages though. Anyways, I'll get that later. Here's weird. This is early one when I was like a kid. Probably like, I don't know, 14. Indestructible Man.
Okay, that's cool.
A lot of
make copies of those and then ink the copies.
Oh, I do. It's fun. But a lot of times I would read a Marvel comic or DC, and it would be like, this is the coolest comic, so I'd go and try to copy it.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Here, look at this one. Here, the villain's name is there's two villains, Strawberry Jam and Rice Pudding. So they have, if you could see them, they're in the background. They have guns that shoot out Rice Pudding and Strawberry Jam.
Oh wow.
Hero Incorporated was like my mini series. This is when Marvel started doing the Contest of Champions and stuff. So I started doing my own mini series.
That was right about the time I kind of dropped out a bit during that time period.
Unknown Comics. That was the name of my company.
Unknown Comics. Okay.
It was funny that what actually became there was a company that became Unknown Comics. So I had the X Breed instead of the X-Men.
Yeah, I did a comic called Captain Carnage, and later Carnage became a character in Marvel.
I read that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just showing books as I bang and board them.
When they did the Baron Blood storyline in Captain America, then I came up with my own vampire. That was it. Like he was an android.
Oh, cool.
Bamrak.
Has Micah Graphic Man taught you the gold key trick of telling the month and year of the comic by looking at the cover?
You mean by the code? The
Yeah.
barcode number?
Well, no. Well, I don't know about barcode. The number that's up in the gold key emblem here.
Oh, no, he never did.
Here, let me show you real quick.
Yeah, I'd like to know that. Anyways, I'll put it away, but that's just some of my stuff.
No, you can show more of it.
That's cool. I have other stuff. I have some comics that I want to show that I picked out just with you in mind.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 25 cents. So it's from the 70s. Right. But what you do is you look at the last three digits here, and the first digit is the year. So that would have to be 74, and then 08 means August of 74. It works if you know when comics had what price. So if it's 12 cents,
right? Yeah,
and it starts with a 6, it's 1976. But if it's 30 cents and it has a 6, it's 76. It's just You have to have a little bit of knowledge of comics for that to work. So like on this one, the 3 is 1973 and the 12 is December. And that makes sense because they've got the Christmas catalog in here for you to, this would have been out a couple of months before Christmas. And so you could see, you tell your parents, hey, I want the Smash Up Derby and all this for the Fat Albert Give a Show or the Snoopy toothbrush holder. They got, I guess, I don't know if you're just now starting to get into Gold Key or what.
Oh, no, I just went through an issue that had that in there.
Okay, yeah. I love this. Baby Alive. It's just such.
We probably had that. We had all those 80s dolls in our house.
Yeah. But anyway, that's a way you can tell. Of course, you don't know the issue number without opening it up and looking, but. And
here's something I did.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me give you full screen there.
So the Indian's name is Whisper, and the guy in the square is Black Hole.
Oh, that's neat.
And Dr. X, he's like supposed to be like Professor X from the X-Men, but he's there's a whole history there. I could tell it to you, but it's nerdy stuff. The whole back origin. You have to figure all that stuff out before you start just drawing anything.
Yeah, I love Indian comics. That's Micah's trademark. He figured that out. I never would have dreamed of it. Okay, that's pretty cool. Looks like you probably dried out a few markers doing that.
I would buy those cheap ones, I just buy like 2 or 3 batches of them. United King, man. He's like Superman and Captain America, but he's for England.
I'm so bummed out. I was wanting to watch the Trump rally tonight, and then that's
So
why
what
I
are they
was
gonna
saying,
do?
let's
They
go
get
on at 9 because I wanted to watch Trump and then
Are
do
they
the
gonna
rally.
reschedule it?
Well, what happened is it rained real hard on them, and then it stopped, and it was sunny, but then they canceled it anyway because they were under a tornado watch. And if a tornado hit during a Trump rally, they would be blaming him for the rest of his life for that.
That's Domino Kid right there.
Now, you could be conspiratorial and say that the government has ways of controlling and manipulating the weather, and maybe they don't want him to talk. And then
All
people
right,
say, "No, that's nonsensical." Of course, they
All
can't
right,
do that.
no conspiracy theories.
Oh, they can't.
Okay,
do that.
Domino Kid, man, Domino Kid. Isn't that freaking cool? Night Tiger can draw.
Yeah.
I wanted. I wish I could find somebody. No.
Because now you can do these books where at Amazon where someone orders it and then they print it.
Oh yeah.
They print on demand.
No. Oh, here's did I show this? Bloodshed.
This is all done.
I had this whole story worked out in my brain. It was like I used to brainstorm with myself, come up with this elaborate storyline. It's nerd stuff. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I had a period in early high school where I drew a lot of comics.
Okay, so I picked these. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go
in
ahead.
high school, you were.
Oh, the comics were just ultra. They were kind of humorous superhero comics, but they were ultra gory. I had a character named Major Mutilate and a character named Captain Carnage, and I think I've shown them before. Anyway,
cool.
What do you got there?
No, that sounds cool. I'm just saying I picked out this stuff thinking, okay, this is what you like. So,
oh, okay.
Let's see what I got. Sprague.
Okay, let's get you a bigger. Oh,
good
wow.
Stuff? Is that good stuff?
I've never seen that cover.
Sprague. Doesn't Sprague just instill fear when you hear it? Sprague. Oh no, it's Sprague again. Ah.
When I hear that, I think of, I don't know how to pronounce the name, El Sprague de Camp, Sprague de Camp, or whatever it's pronounced, that writer.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I don't know why. Someone goes,
sure
you want
that,
it's
Sprague.
Sprague.
Know how to pronounce that.
Sprague's coming. Holy, it looks like a thumb with a face on it. There's
Yeah.
a huge thumb coming over the horizon.
Yeah.
It's Galactus's thumb. He named it Sprague. It's gonna eat you. Anyways, but cool stuff. You know what I like about this book? I love how the title looks so cool.
It does,
the trade dress. It just looks like golden age-ish. So what year is this?
I call it a logo, but
trade dress logo
I'm
title.
still getting used to everyone's using trade dress now.
Yeah, it's the cool term the cool kids are using now.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so you know what? Get on board, brother.
Well, trade dress is
correct us.
Well, I'm not going to correct you necessarily, but
hold on a minute. Let's look at the most sexy part of this book.
Uh-oh.
The 10 cents cover price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 10-cent cover price. That's when you see that, it doesn't matter what else is on the book. Oh yeah. Buck.
This is the logo.
Yeah.
To me, the trade dress is this. This is part of the trade dress.
That's
part of the trade dress. It's the way the writing is here. It's all part of the packaging.
Got it.
It's trade dress is like.
Sorry, oh great one.
No. It's just because I
believe you.
I went to school and studied advertising, and trade dress is still a new term for me. Right. I think it came when people started doing the covers without the text, the logo, and they call it, without the trade dress. But
I believe you. That makes a lot of sense.
But like trade dress is something you can instantly recognize. Like you can spot a can of Coke because it's red, it's got that white ribbon,
Yeah.
it's got the cursive lettering. That's all part of the trade dress. It's the way it's dressed up for
For
sale.
the trade.
So right.
Got
So
it.
like
He makes a lot of
the
sense. I
Archie
can't
comic, the
disagree.
trade dress at this time would be Archie written here on the side, you know, and the way it's the logo is part of it, but that's how I interpret it.
Sorry, I'm
No,
I
no,
don't want
there's nothing to
no,
be
but no,
sorry
no, no,
of.
no, no. I just want to say I don't want to be part of the cool kids anymore if I have
Oh,
to use
okay.
that
Like
term
the
anymore.
trade dress is that corner box here, and the trade dress and the Rawhide Kid logo. The trade dress here is also the go-go checks and the way the
Got
DC
it.
logo
Yeah.
is.
No,
But
no.
anyway,
I got a question for you. Okay,
yeah.
everybody, hold on now. Hold on to your seat. So I heard somebody. I heard a huge channel the other day. I'm not going to say who it is, but they referred to the go-go checks. They said the race car flag, and then I'm like, thought I never heard that term, and then they go, everybody calls it that, and I'm like, really? I've
Well,
never heard anybody call it that.
maybe people in their 20s that,
Have you ever heard that term?
well,
Because if you
it
haven't, then I'll
it
know I'm not
was
crazy.
called the go-go checks in the DC comics, but it sounds like someone that's never opened a comic book because they buy them slabbed and they've never actually opened it and read
No,
the house
no, this
ads.
guy knows comics. So
Oh, he knows comics.
that's kind of why I was kind of taken like, okay,
Um,
wait a
it
minute.
is
I never
probably based on a race car flag because it's like go go go.
right,
It
right,
probably is that. I
but the
didn't even really make that connection until I think Dr. Silverage mentioned it once about it looks
maybe
like
what
a race.
but maybe it was a slip up because he said everybody calls it that. I'm like, no, I never heard that.
No, I've never heard it called that. I
But
mean, I've heard that that's kind of where the idea comes
okay,
from, but I've always
I
heard
just
them
wanted to
called
make
go-go
sure.
checks.
I mean, I never believe anything until I get like confirmation a couple times.
And it's nothing bad about this guy that said that, but how old is this
Hmm.
guy? Approximately.
I think he's a little older than me.
Oh,
Probably, I don't know, probably
well,
58, something like that.
well,
It's
that's not
okay. I
old
mean,
then.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Well, I mean,
I
that,
just thought maybe there was something I didn't know.
yeah,
That's all.
I
That's
don't
all.
know. Man, I mean,
Okay, I got another book here.
yeah, go
So
ahead.
I picked
I'm,
out a book and let's see. Okay.
see, go ahead.
So you like Marvel, right?
No, of course I like Marvel.
You don't like Marvel,
I
dude.
am joking.
Okay, do you like Silver Age? Do you like Jack Kirby? Do you like Strange Tales with the 10-cent cover price?
Yes, that is cool.
You have this one?
No, I don't. That's really nice. No,
It
I don't
looks
have
like
much.
Groot. It's not
Huh?
Groot though. It looks like Groot, but it's not.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I don't have much of the older books.
Okay, let's see some of those comments. Yeah.
Paulo's kind of like a professor. He says, I never heard race car checks. I have a hard time finding other people who like both auto racing and comics.
There are some Charlton people and a very, very, very few Fawcett.
But little boys in 1966, 67 would have been into cars. It was part of the kid culture at the time, much more than it is now. Hot rods and muscle cars and racing cars. So it would make sense why those were used.
Okay. So here we go. Number 4, another 10-cent Marvel comic, Monster. I Am X.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing Adventures. Number 4.
Yeah, I'd like to get more of those, but they just elude me.
Yeah, that's it. My comic shop a while back got a flood of them in, and probably obviously from a collection they bought. So I kept going back every week if I had money, and I'd buy one here or two there.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a Key, Bronze Age, Marvel. You have this probably.
I don't know.
First
I don't
solo
think I have
Black
that.
Panther.
I don't
Jungle
think
Action number 5.
Yeah, I don't think I have that particular issue.
One of those odd books. I mean, it's a reprint, but it's his first solo title.
Oh, that's a reprint story?
I don't call them. I just tell you how I see them. I don't call
Well, I
them.
mean, where did that first appear?
I think it's in Avengers. Yes.
Okay, then I have the original Avengers
Yeah,
comic.
I do too.
Um,
I don't even know where I got this. I
now,
think I
if
got.
that's a book anyone needs, Kevin at Gotham City Comics just got a copy of that 2 days ago in his store in Mesa, Arizona. So it's for sale. You could call him up, or Kevin, you could come on if you want. It's just put the link in the chat. Paulo says, but people who are into fast cars are never into racing cars. We can have fun watching Ford Pintos race. People who are just into cars don't like Ford Pintos at all. Yeah.
Okay, so do you like the Avengers?
Yes.
Do you like the Mighty Avengers?
Oh, please.
Number 62 has a corner box in it,
Yeah.
but it has the man ape, the monarch of the
Is that where
man.
the story came from?
I don't think so. This is the
No.
first appearance of M'Baku,
Okay.
the man ape.
I have that issue. A friend of mine gave me his entire Avengers collection from issue maybe 16 up until probably about 1975 or 76, just because he didn't have room anymore. And he said, if I sent these off to heritage auctions, I'd get nothing. Because he'd already done that with his X-Men collection.
Oh, wow.
And he said, I want them to go to someone that wants them.
Yeah, nice.
And,
I think I slipped this one in by accident. I don't know if this is a key that would interest you.
well, you never can tell what'll interest me. I'm not easy to peg.
First appearance of War Machine.
Is that the first appearance of War Machine? I never read
Officially, it is.
Okay.
Technically, it's not.
Okay.
But it's the money book.
Because the cover, yeah.
Well, it's Tony Stark. It's not what's his name?
Oh,
Rhodes.
okay.
Jimmy Rhodes.
Okay.
Old Jimbo. But it's a cool book. I picked it up a while back. It's in really high grade. You know, whenever a book like this is there at the shop and it's, whatever, $6, $10, you pick it up.
Well, I mean, I really only know that character from the movies. I really was the 90s glut beat interest out of me and the horrible art and everything. I just was not into the 90s comics.
I know you have this
missed
one.
out on a lot.
I know you have this. Roger actually gave me this. Actually, I wanted this, and then Roger gave me a copy.
Okay.
It's remember the good times in the 70s, man, with Evel Knievel was like doing stunts. You don't have this?
No. I mean that was that a giveaway with the toy, or was that in toy stores?
I believe so.
Yeah. I was
given away in the toy stores, what it says in the back.
Evel Knievel was someone that I was aware of, and I guess I thought he was cool, but I was never a big fan of Evel Knievel with posters on my wall. I never got the toys or anything.
I had the toy, man. Everybody had it. When that thing went,
yeah, I had the SSP.
We'd watch him on TV.
Yeah,
be on TV all the time. Radio. Evel Knievel's gonna jump.
Oh, I remember that. I remember going to some restaurant with my parents, and in the other room, they were about to have the closed circuit broadcast of him jumping over Snake River Canyon in a rocket or something. Yeah, I remember all that stuff. It was
good times, man. What do we got going on in the chat? We got some conversation about cars.
Let's see what people are saying.
They're talking about cars.
Yeah, they got talking about the race. I've been putting them up on the screen. There were a couple of car comics. I think one was cartoons. Yeah, cartoons recently came back.
Okay, Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch. Okay. Speed Buggy. Okay, here you go. Where is this?
I never watched any of those cartoons. Now I appreciate Evel Knievel far more than I did then. I appreciate Kiss far more now, or It took me 20 years. It was in the 90s when I started realizing, boy, Kiss really was great. But at the time, I didn't think so. I was.
I think all kisses at this age are to be appreciated from anywhere. No?
But
man, I can't find that dang book. I got a copy of Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch. It's really cool. I remember that cartoon. How about this? You remember this show?
I'm aware of it, and I think I've heard the theme song, but I've never seen it because it was only on for a season.
Yeah,
and it was never syndicated.
It was a Sherwood Schwartz production.
It's the same guy that made Gilligan's Island.
Yeah. So Gilligan's Island actually was in production at the same time, and they shared props and set pieces.
It just see, I was born in '65, and I think that show's from about '66. So I would have been learning how to walk. I wouldn't have been aware of what was on TV.
Remember when this was huge?
Woods the Owl was huge, sure.
Yeah.
1972. Yeah. I saw you show that recently. Yeah, that's that he was really big. Yeah, on that commercial.
I got that one because it was a really high grade book.
Huh.
And then this one. These are the ones that were in that collection for free.
I bought that one when I was a kid off the rack. I still have that.
These I didn't know they had these huge issues of Sugar and Spike. Sheldon Mayer cover, dude.
Yeah, he's great, and I love Sugar and Spike. I have that issue.
Nudity cover.
Yeah, Sugar and Spike, and the other one that I really loved was the Three Mouseketeers. That was one of the first comics I ever got. Same artist.
You have this one?
That issue, I'm not 100% sure. I wish I had all of them.
Oh, here, check this one out, dude. Speed Buggy. This is a grail for me.
Is it? Is that a cartoon you watched?
Yeah, and not only that, it's really high grade. It's a Whitman. It's Speed Buggy. It's just got it. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like the Overstreet Price Guide created the shortage of Whitmans because there were tons of Whitmans. That one, you showed that the other night. That's brilliant. And,
high grade too.
Yeah, I have one in similar condition. It's a wonderful cover. That's one of the great covers.
It is. But people don't understand Tarzan, man. I have Golden Age Tarzan. He used machine guns all the time.
Yeah,
he'd rip them out of people's arms and start killing people. That was the real Tarzan. He was brutal.
Yeah, people don't realize Tarzan was a very different character than what they realize.
It's Thrall. How do you troll? It's Troll the Inhuman. No way. Yeah, way. You have what's his name, Bill and Ted. It's Troll the Unhuman. No way. Yes, way. Run.
That's really nice. And that must be earlier because it's got a giant comics code seal on it.
Yeah, and it says 10 cents. I love when it says 10 cents. It makes me it actually gives me a Woody.
Oh, that may be too much information there. So yeah, that's great.
Sorry, put the kiddies to bed. This is an adult.
Fireball says Tarzan's never been done right in films or TV. Yes, he's almost been done right, but you're right. There's been a couple of times because Tarzan shouldn't talk like a caveman in broken English. He actually spoke many languages, was very well educated, and
spoke ape. So that's just the thing. He should be able to speak ape.
Of course he can. Yeah, but
that'd be funny if you're watching a Tarzan movie and he's talking to an English guy and an ape comes up and goes, and Tarzan looks at him and the guy goes, "What'd he say?" He goes, "Fuck off." Well, he tells you to.
Tarzan should be basically kind of like James Bond, and then
Yeah, of
You
the
know,
jungle.
something happens and he's like rips his clothes off and he's like climbing through the streets of London
But
because
just
he was really both.
yeah, but just think now. I mean, you'd have to be somehow incorporate tech into the movie, like when he's in the
Yeah.
jungle, because
Paulo's
I
accurate. He says the Filmation cartoon was very close. Yeah, that's right. I was about to say that was one of them. 70s cartoon. Yeah, he's
is
agreeing.
that the one with Nakima, the monkey?
Yeah, it was the Filmation. Guess it was really the only Tarzan cartoon now that I think about it.
What was that one Tarzan show they had like around 74, 5? It was on like every Saturday afternoon.
That was probably reruns of the Ron Eli series from about 1966. That was in syndication, and where I was living, it would come on every Saturday too. But it
Really?
was the same guy that played Doc Savage in the 70s. Is it that guy?
I don't know. I just knew
It
it was
had to
on.
be because there wasn't a 70s show. There was one in the 90s
Okay,
that
that's what I
tried to
wanted.
be close to Edgar Rice Burroughs, but it had early crude computer generated effects that just weren't quite there. I love Disney and comics. Disney and is confirming that it was reruns of the 60s. Yeah, that
This is
was.
for.
But as kids, you don't really realize sometimes those are reruns, and you think that they're new shows.
Are you a
Okay,
Spider-Man fan?
of course, yeah.
I mean, like, is he like on your A list, B, C?
Oh yeah. You know, I
This is his
love.
first appearance at Hammerhead.
Oh, is it? Is that
Yeah.
a 20-cent comic?
Yep.
I don't have that one, and I don't know that I've ever even seen that cover ever.
Yeah, it's kind of unassuming cover, really.
Well, it's one that must not come up for sale
But
very often because yeah,
but
I've
even
never
if you
seen it.
look at it, if you look at this, you're never going to remember it. It's just an unrememberable cover.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that a word? Unrememberable?
unmemorable. Yeah, I guess so.
Unrememberable. Okay. This is a toy line from the 70s.
Okay,
And my question to you, when you see what it is, did you either own it or ever play with one?
okay.
Shogun Warriors.
I
Bam. Boom.
I owned that comic. I bought it when it came out, but I never had that toy as a kid. I do have that particular one now. That's the only one I have. But I bought the toy in the 90s when I got really interested in Japanese culture and toys and
That's a
things.
big toy, man. It's a
Big
huge
meaning
toy.
big meaning in size or value.
Yeah, in size.
Yeah, yeah, it is big, especially if you're a kid.
Yeah, it's a big. I never owned one, but I played with them many a times.
But see, let's see. That is that comic from what, 78 or 80?
I think it's
Uh,
79.
79.
Is
Okay,
this?
so
I have 79. Yeah.
see, I was 14. So, um, how old were you in 79?
Ooh, I was 11.
See, just the difference between 11 and 14 might have been
Yeah.
the main thing and not winding up with that
Right,
time.
right.
But then later I appreciated how great it was.
Let me tell. Should I tell you an inside story about Night Tiger's obsession with comics in the childhood?
Sure.
So they used to, if you remember, you probably don't, maybe I don't know. They had these Spider-Man shooters that you put a dart in them. You put them on your wrist
Yeah.
and you put a dart in, and then you press a button, it shoots the dart.
Yeah.
You're supposed to tie a string, and that's the webbing. You never seen those?
I've
They
seen
advertise them.
commercials for them. Yeah.
Well, I wanted those, and my mom wouldn't get them for me. And
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, I got to improvise. And for some reason, I looked at her tampons. I'm like, that looks like a web shooter. So I tied her tampons on my wrist and went around a Spider-Man with tampons.
Okay. Did she catch you with that?
I I don't remember. I think so.
See,
I don't
this is
remember. I
Mickey
don't
Mouse.
remember. I don't remember getting a whipping, so probably not.
This is
I
just
got the
Mickey Mouse.
belt. Oh yeah, nice. I
Except
actually
you have,
have the Swedish version.
oh yeah, I remember you had all. They have too much space at the top and the bottom. Well, maybe not the
Yeah,
bottom.
why do they got
Uh,
to put that freaking barcode on there, man?
well,
It
this one
ruins the whole
especially,
book.
they have a lot of too much space at the
Oh
top,
yeah.
and then they have the space at the bottom. Do
Do
you
you have
see
that?
the
Do
barcode
you,
on the back on these?
do
This
you
is
have
about
that
the only
book?
thing that interests me about what's coming out today is when they reprint old comics with the ads.
Right. You know they say they make more off the reprints than they do any of their new titles.
Is that right?
Yep.
Well, I'm hearing
So
people. Yeah,
on the is it Strange Adventures?
that's Strange Tales.
Strange Tales. Do you have that original one?
No, I don't think so.
Uh,
I would know if I had this. No, I don't have this. I have a lot of the ones around it.
I at one point I found like two of them for like $3 a piece at two different
Yeah.
places.
Well, people were all speculating that he was going to become this big character
Yeah,
in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
that's still a cool book.
It's
That's a
still a
book.
cool book, yeah.
Yeah.
But for the people that don't care about that, they're just there because he's going to be a character in the movies. It's like,
Oh, you know,
oh well.
that really never figures into anything that I buy unless I purposely buy it to sell.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, I never base my stuff on. I don't really, to tell you the truth, I don't get excited about superhero properties at this time because it's just been one disappointment after another, and then the companies want to do this woke BS,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm out. I'm out of
I, I
the. I'm out
I'm
of the
completely
medium.
there with you, but I
I
stuck
stream.
in longer than most people.
I mean, once
Um,
in a while, I search a movie, but most of the time, I look for TV shows from the '70s, the '80s,
yeah.
and I just binge watch the seasons with me and my wife. Like I'm watching Benson, and then we and her get together. We watch the new Heart show.
I
So
never.
I
Yeah,
know what to expect. You know what I'm saying.
yeah. I've been
Anyways,
trying to get my wife for years to watch WKRP in Cincinnati, but
oh, that's a good one.
that's
Yeah,
good. Yeah. Um, let's see. I that one is the first another character that people were so excited about till
yeah,
the movie. It was a
and
girl.
yeah.
Oh
I
well.
thought I thought the movie was good. I
Yeah, I
liked the
didn't
fight
have
scenes.
problems with Marvel yet at that time. It wasn't until the Captain Marvel movie that was when things went really bad. And then the second Avenger, the next Avengers movie, which I don't think you liked, or that was I guess the third Avengers movie, and the End Game or whatever. And then I thought, well, I'm still liking this. And then I don't know what else. There's just one turd after the other, and I
Mhm.
like the Spider-Man movie with the different Spider-Man
After
together.
the last Avengers, what was that? Endgame.
Yeah, I remember you kind of weren't too crazy.
After that, I'm like, I knew it was going to be all downhill from there. I knew
Yeah,
it was.
because they made huge mistakes, and then I liked the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, and I liked this movie that just came out
Right.
last week, and I've hated everything else since TV or movies.
I think after that last Avenger, their what is it called? Their ECG or whatever that is kicked in.
What's ECG?
Where they had to get the points for the woke.
Oh, for the Academy Awards and
The
everything, and
the investor awards,
it's
not
like a
awards, the investor points. They have this thing now that companies
it's
that are,
like a credit system.
yeah, they're pushing it. You try to build up the credit. The higher your credit, the more they'll influence your company from investors. So they're saying if
Oh,
you
so
don't,
it's
the
they're
lower
doing
it
it for
is, yeah.
monetary reasons.
These people, these big rich
Okay,
multi billionaire dudes.
so it's
It's part of how they're trying to change everything.
so it's
They implemented a system, and
okay. So Marxist, the World Economic Forum and George Soros are funding are fueling money into these movie companies to make things intentionally bad
well,
and to disrupt.
it's in the investment houses.
but what they did that was, they've done things that are really stupid, like,
We
the
shouldn't
main.
talk. We shouldn't talk about it. It's too depressing.
All right, but I'm just saying that the fact that the actor that played the Black Panther passed away,
Yeah.
recast him. He was great.
Exactly.
Instead, they make a Black Panther movie
Yeah.
with no Black
I
Panther.
haven't even seen it. I don't even want to see it.
I mean,
Here
it's
was
real
the
nice
thing.
that Captain America got this nice ending, but you've done away with this character who's one of your big characters.
Exactly.
Let him keep going. The actor doesn't want to play it anymore. Get another guy. There's other guys that can do that. He did a great job, but you could get another guy, and you
What
could,
was
and to do away with Iron Man and Captain America, the big characters in their cinematic universe. And it's like, then you're going to replace them with teenagers or with their sidekicks. That doesn't make any sense.
think about this also.
Yeah.
Those base characters, they have royalties they have to pay them. All of them. Because they're mostly Kirby, Ditko. They have to share revenue. And if they use these new characters, it's completely theirs. They don't have any
Does the Kirby
revenue sharing.
estate get money from that?
Yes.
I don't think the Ditko estate does.
I believe he does. There was copyrights were up 2 years ago or a year ago. They were fighting because the copyright was coming up. I forget. I never saw a resolution to it though.
I don't know, but I mean,
I don't know what happened. I don't know if they settled or what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be it. I know that Hulk is still,
but anyways,
owned by another movie
do you
studio.
Do you have this?
No, I don't. I don't have that.
Have you read it?
No, I don't think so.
This is like top tier story art, like perfect storm comic. George Perez. I think is it Chris Claremont that writes it? I forget who writes this. But just it's worth every penny if you buy it. I've read it twice.
Uh-huh.
And the book before it too, really good.
Okay, and what issue is that again?
This is issue 196. I have 195 somewhere around here. But I've read it. Actually read them both multiple times. That's just how good it is. There's Perez. There's some Byrne, like the what is it? The Baron Blood storyline. I reread that all the time. Have you ever read that storyline in the Captain America run?
Yeah.
What John Byrne was doing the book.
Oh yeah, I was reading that.
Okay, what do we got here? What do we got for Gratu here? Okay, do you like Thor?
Sure.
Silver Age?
Yeah.
Who do you like more, Thor or Hercules?
See, I have a lot of the Thor books, and I have that because in the 80s, early 80s, late 70s, when Lone Star Comics was open in my area, which is now mycomicshop.com, you could get Thor and Fantastic Four books affordably with the money you got from washing and waxing cars or mowing lawns. But I couldn't afford the Amazing Spider-Man from the 60s. Those books didn't come available much.
Here's some DC 10-cent cover price.
Oh, cool.
Some good girl. House of Secrets, number 7.
Oh, very nice.
December 57.
Yeah, that's good.
What's her name?
Cersei.
Cersei, yeah. And you got the merman, dude. Look at that.
Cool. Here's Tales of the Unexpected from about that same time period. I just happened to pull out right when you were pulling that one out.
Nice.
Trying to organize stuff while we're talking.
You know how people fall in love with DC horror, like early stuff like that? It's not because like it's so good or the art's always really fantastic. It's because as a kid, nobody wanted that stuff, so you could get it easier. So it's like, here, take that, go read that.
Well, that's true. The books that you could always get very easily in the late 70s, early 80s, there were books I mean, you could always get Tomahawk, and you could get Metal Men, and these books that were fun. Daredevil was affordable because no one really cared about it. Yeah, that's really cool. Basically, King Kong cover.
Yeah, that's why I got it. You need this one in your collection. Number 26, November 59.
What does that mean? You're selling it?
No. No, I'm
No,
not going to sell it.
no. You said you were saying you need this
Oh,
one
I
in your
know.
collection. You sound like a car salesman.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need to have it.
Oh
Not
yeah,
this one.
everyone
Not
needs to
this
have a
particular
DC
one,
Gorilla
but
cover, but you also need to
not this
eat.
particular one. Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, these are not good times.
You
Not to talk about depressing things, but financially, these are not good times. But it's also good times if you have a lot of money to be buying comics because
Oh, I
people are
don't.
pretty desperate.
I'm not
Okay,
buying
is
anything.
that a valuable issue?
No, not really.
I've never
Probably
even seen that. Is that like a
20,
one shot?
$20. This is the death of the hobgoblin.
Oh, okay. I don't even know much about the Hobgoblin. I just know the Green Goblin. I mean, I really like a Rip Van Winkle that fell asleep in 1979, 1980. And it's like I don't know much about what's happened since, The Crisis on Infinite Earths kind of ruined DC for me. And then uh Marvel with all that's a good book. Gotham City Comics just got a copy of that. Is that a valuable book?
Not really. People want it. I don't think it goes for much.
Yeah.
It's actually reprinting the first 181, I believe.
Right. Yeah, it's got both issues in it.
This one's a newsstand. If anybody cares.
Yeah, well,
I see people show it, and I kept getting jealous. I'm like, I want that, but I don't want to pay.
right.
I don't want to pay any more than $1. I don't care. I'm not
Well,
going to do
what
it.
I was going to say a minute ago about Overstreet in the late 70s, early 80s, I remember in the Overstreet price guide, they said that Whitman comics were reprints and that they were basically worthless. So a lot of people probably just chucked them in the trash. Is that an original printing there?
Yeah,
Oh, cool. Yeah, I never had that one.
I
I
got it
bought
in
that.
a trade.
Oh, yeah. I bought that religiously when I was a kid. I just didn't get the first issue. I wasn't there for the first issue.
You weren't born yet.
No, I was.
I'm just kidding.
But
Steve
um,
traded with me for some stuff. This is one of the books we
do
traded.
you have the month and year written on the back of that?
I do. I do have it. Would you like it?
Yeah.
September 76.
What? No. It's not
Yeah.
76.
Yeah.
No, it must be
Oh,
72.
maybe 2. Oh no, it's 72.
Yeah. Okay. September of 72. So that would have been on the stands. August, summer
9.
of 72. Okay, so we were on a plane coming from Germany to Hampton, Virginia, and maybe I discovered Werewolf by Night maybe by issue 3.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying.
Yeah,
I didn't.
somewhere in the early run, and same thing with Tomb of Dracula. I guess those must have started right before my second grade year. And that's from about 1969, so I wasn't really even aware. I was 4.
71.
71? Oh, okay. I'm off
Neil
by 2 years.
Adams, Santa Claus,
Yeah, that's cool.
Hot Wheels.
Yep.
I got this from my buddy Caroline, Lady Fantastic. Shout out.
Yeah, I've seen her. I've never met her online. I've never done a show with her.
You should invite her on. I
Sure,
almost invited her.
it's like there's little cliques in the comic book community and people that interact with each other. And
You know
I'm
what you
kind
do
of
to
in
that? You cross. That's what I do. I don't
yeah,
care about clicks.
yeah.
I don't.
It's just like you don't interact. There's the clique where they're mostly people with the slabs and they're buying books that are $20,000 books, and
Oh shoot!
they're a little more. It's like I can't really relate to them because they're rich and
You just
they
reminded me. I need to make I set up the live show. I'm supposed to be interviewing Unruly next Sunday.
Oh, next Sunday.
Yeah, I gotta make. I need
Unruly
something.
Simeon. I'm trying to remember. Does he kind of look like a wrestler or something?
I don't actually know him. I just interacted with him several times over the years.
Maybe is there someone named the Immortal Biggie Shack
Yeah.
that kind of looks more like a wrestler? I
Oh
see
yeah,
there.
that you're talking about Biggie. Yeah.
And then I saw he had a show last night. He had all these people, and I don't know any of those people. It's like we're this is my school, and those are like kids from the school across town, and we never interact. But I see them at the mall. These kids that are like
You know
they're
what you
from that
do?
other
You
school.
just go in and you just start saying, "Hey, what's up?" And I go in.
Yeah.
I'm like, "What's
Well,
up,
they're also
junkies?" And I never care what other people think. I just want to.
yeah,
You be cordial.
yeah,
You do your thing. You be cool. You be yourself. And they come, they don't. Whatever.
yeah,
I never worry about what they're thinking, or
right. Yeah.
otherwise it'd be like I'd be middle fingering everybody. Get out of here.
No, it's not
Okay,
like
here
that
you
at
go.
all.
This
I
is
just
this is cool. I found a second issue of this high grade.
what is that?
DC Superstars presents number 18, Dead Man and the Phantom Stranger. You got Bondage cover.
It looks like they
Ooh.
like the art so much they had to bend the all the words around at the top around the head
Let's
of the
look at
Phantom
this.
Stranger.
Do you have this?
No, I do not have that one. I'm almost positive.
Oh, I thought it was wrap. I thought there was something on the back, but there's Superman watches.
Yeah, yeah.
The Time Machine. You can have one. No COD. Clip coupon. Send it in.
Didn't you just show this book the other night?
I
Like
didn't. I need that. I want that.
you
Is that a
didn't show
brand?
this?
No, I didn't show that.
Who showed
Is that?
this?
I don't know. Is that a brand new character? Because I heard that that was her first appearance, but I thought Tiger Girl was from Fiction Comics.
Well, it's not hard to. Oh, this is really close to your Night Tiger, and of course, you need this
Mm-hmm.
book. I just made that connection. Um,
I had it on my watch list several times, but I have a hard time not buying Golden Age when I'm buying online.
I doubt this is the same character. I think it's just a coincidence. It's pretty easy to come up with the name Tiger and Girl, but it could be from then. I don't know.
I never really cared to research, but it is a cool book.
Yeah.
Anytime you got Jungle Girl pre-modern, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Anything
Modern
with
starts what in 85? When is modern?
For me, brother, I'm recalibrating. If it's newsprint, I love it. If it doesn't have newsprint, it's got to have some other really cool factors for me to want it.
Okay, so you're talking about once it goes to the slick paper or that doesn't have white outlines around the page where it goes all black right to the edge of the paper.
Oh yeah, that's that newer stuff they used in the 90s. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I just mean a modern comic where I guess
If it's not news, what I'm
is
trying to say is newsprint. Just the newsprint alone excites me.
well, see, there's a white border around, but modern comics, so that it'll black or whatever color will go straight to the edge of the paper. There is no border. I think what they're trying to do is simulate what it's like to see a movie, and they have black around the panels, like what you would see around a movie screen instead of white.
It's been quite about a year since I've actually looked at any new comic book. So
yeah,
I'm doing fine without them. I do troll buy them. Kind of look like, do I want to buy something? You look for that Spidey tingle, at a book,
right?
And then if you feel it, you pick it up, and man,
I'm sure you've got all these kind of books.
I have a few of those. Oh, so what do I have here? Oh, here you go. Here's that other issue I bought. Casper, Golden Age.
Yeah.
So pre-code Casper, number 24.
Yeah. See how he has this gigantic head?
Yeah. I know. I love it. It's with no code on there, 10 cents, and his giant head, it just makes it look so golden age-ish.
Right. Oh, Charlton pointed out that Micah showed. I knew I'd seen Tiger Girl somewhere.
There you go. Ooh, I just picked this up. Somebody showed this, I think, on the Four Colors. And I seen it in there, and I paid up for this thing.
Did you?
$10. It's a nice shape, though. Not Gene Colan, Gil Kane cover.
Yeah.
I love Gil Kane's like reptile-ish monsters. They look
Right.
so
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Yeah, someone mentioned it does. It looks like a similar Strange Tales cover. Look at the nails, the fingernails.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then look at the bubble head fishbowl he's got. The ray gun.
Right. Yeah,
This
that's a
book
great.
is thick too. It's thick.
Is that about what 1964 or so? I'm guessing.
66.
I'm off.
Yeah, it's a nice one. Anyways, what else? Oh, I know you grew up on Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo #1.
Yeah. Now I was told that the gold key Scooby-Doos are very valuable. I had no idea of that. I figured there were millions of them out there.
That just happened like a few years ago.
What caused that?
I just key
Nostalgia.
chasing. It sounds like key chasing, and to me, if you ask me how that happened, it's key chasing, and then people wanted to jump on the trend of I gotta have that key, but then they realized how uncommon or how scarce that book is, and it probably drove the price way up.
Why would it be scarce? Every kid bought Scooby-Doo gold key.
Who knows? It could be different. Who knows? Print run could have been. Sometimes the print run's small until they know for sure if people are buying it.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it was right around the beginning of the cartoon, they maybe didn't know if the cartoon was that popular yet. You know what I'm
saying? When I bought those Scooby-Doo comics, it was like the biggest thing in the world by then.
So this is a first appearance, though.
First appearance of what?
Of Hey BF Dynamite.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then that's
BF. You don't remember him? Dynamite. Okay. Blue Falcon. Yeah. Blue Falcon.
Right, I remember that. Blue Falcon had an interesting design for his suit.
This is the fourth appearance of a major A-lister Marvel character.
What is that?
Marvel Spotlight #9.
Oh. Okay, I have that. I bought that when I was a kid. What is that a major appearance of?
The fourth appearance of Ghost Rider.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had the first appearance. I bought it at the 7-Eleven. Yeah, if there was a skull on the cover, I bought it. Whether it was House of Mystery or Ghosts or Marvel's Ghost Rider.
I thought your mom wouldn't let you buy that stuff.
Comic books are different. I'm talking about what she forbid were the magazine size with real photographs of monsters.
Oh,
she thought that wasn't appropriate for me, and so whenever I wanted one, I'd show it to her, and she'd thumb through it. It's the same thing with Mad Magazine. She needed to approve those.
We have some comments there about the books I'm showing.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Okay,
I think nostalgia and key chasing caused it. That was a cool sea agent. Steve says the gold key Scooby-Doo is tough to find, especially in high grade, highly sought after. It's probably the high grade because kids read them. Cool Ghost Rider. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Okay. So you like horror?
Yeah, I like a lot of things.
I think you like a little bit of horror every now and then, right? In your life.
Yeah, so
I'm setting this book up.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I'm setting the groundwork. Yeah, you like Bronze Age Marvel?
Yes.
You like? Do you like your mummies dead, or do you like the living mummies?
Oh, I thought you said mommies. I said, don't bring up my mom the day before Mother's Day who's being dead. Let's see. You, yes, I have that. I bought that when it came out. Is that valuable now?
I believe so. I actually
Yeah.
got this in an AOK from
Yeah.
Surf Blue, I believe.
I haven't heard of that coming to the cinematic universe. Yeah. Yeah, that was all. They were hedging their bets. The Comics Code had
It's a
loosened,
killer comic, though.
but they were a little nervous. So they said, because originally the Comics Code is written, you couldn't have the living dead in comics. So they said,
The
well, no,
living
he's a
mummy.
living mummy. He's not really dead. And Morbius is the
Look,
living vampire, and it is the living Colossus. None of these guys are really dead, so don't zap us.
look at
That's
the
what they
wolf.
were doing. That's what Stanley was thinking with all this living bit.
Good info. Good insight.
I mean, I don't know that for sure. It's just, to
That
me,
sounds
that's
that
just
sounds
common
right. You
sense. That's what
you're like the Spock of the comic book
I
universe.
guess.
You throw the logic out and it makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Do you know these books? Do you have many of
Yeah,
these?
I do.
I'm
I just
sure
bought.
you do.
Yeah, they're
The
nice.
artwork.
There's a lot of John Severin in them.
There's John Severin, inked by like Will Elder. Pencils and inks by Will Elder and John Severin, or vice versa, which
Nice.
makes these just like
They
if
are.
DC had a Western comic. It's like both
They're
the
eye
artists that
candy.
worked on Mad. They're
And
really cool.
the interiors are just as good. That's
Yeah, they're
what I love
really
about
good.
them.
They're far superior. I've got 3 of them, but I'm sure you've got dozens or a lot.
I don't have too many of those.
What do they normally go?
I try to buy them when I can find them in high grade.
What do they
Crypt of
normally go
Shadows.
for in
In what, high grade or mid grade, or
uh, in the condition those were in?
I don't know. I couldn't really tell.
Okay.
What do you
Well,
call
okay.
them?
What in okay condition? I'll just call it okay condition. I'll admit my own grade.
Let's say VG. Probably not much. You probably, depending on the VG, probably $10 if it's a
Okay.
decent looking.
All right.
If
Crypt of
it's
Shadows.
high grade, probably around 50 to 80.
Okay.
Depends. That
Yeah,
looks
I've
like
seen that one. I don't have that issue. I don't think I do. That's pretty great.
looks like a baboon's ass,
Oh, it does.
doesn't it?
Well,
You know
I
that
don't know if I've ever looked at one, but
you never see them. They have like the colorful skin on their
oh
behind.
yeah, right.
Are those mandrills or those baboons?
Right.
What are
You're
those?
right. You're right.
That's what I always think about when I see it. A while back, my LCS got a new Bronze Age collection, all Marvel horror, and he's like $3 a piece, and if you buy over 100, 250, and 200, $2. So I bought like $200 worth.
He probably couldn't wait to get rid of it because you're probably the only person that cares about it that comes in his store.
So you like horror? Here's a good one.
I never read that.
They made an animated feature out of it.
That's pretty good. Gotham by Gaslight.
I think you can watch it on Amazon.
Yeah, I could. Whatever that is, HBO Max probably. Yeah, that's probably interesting. That was just
So I think this is one of the books that kicked off the Elseworlds.
could be, yeah.
You remember the Elseworlds?
I think so. I was, yeah. That's what, 90s or late 90s or late 80s. When is that?
That's in the 80s. I think probably around 87.
I kind of
87.
at that time I started collecting other things like records and movie posters, and I still went into the comic shops, but I was buying older comics. I'd look at the new comics. I'd buy some. Usually they were reprints of old horror comics or reprints of in the 90s. They were reprinting a lot of stuff from the golden age, or I would get stuff by these artists like Peter Bagg, Hate, and 8 Ball by Daniel Clowes, all these kind of hipster comics. I'd buy a lot of those. I just kind of wasn't keeping up with
Right.
what was going on in Marvel and DC, because they kind of gave me a gut punch by killing off everything I loved with Crisis on Infinite Earths. And then I remember going to a comic store on Thanksgiving Day. Everyone was so exciting. Everyone was so excited. They opened the store on Thanksgiving morning, so you could come in and get this comic called Arkham Asylum. And the Joker's wearing a wedding dress. He's in love with Batman. He wants to get, and I was like, oh, I eventually just sold that. And it's like, I see where they're going. I just backed away from it. And because of that Arkham Asylum, that's why they created Harley Quinn for the animated series, because they wanted to make sure that you knew that the Joker liked girls. So they gave him a girlfriend. And so that wound up creating some major character that they
Harley Quinn.
Yeah. She
Okay.
was just created as a beard for the
Oh,
show.
we got another living mummy, another Gil
Okay,
Kane.
cool. I
Gil
like that comic.
Gil Kane. You got an
Yeah.
alert here?
And then that It comic, I remember being excited about that and tracing the cover of it, It, the Living Colossus.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know that I have that issue. I don't think I have that one.
This is the one I got in that when I picked up all those bronze horror, $2
that's a good
piece.
deal. Those are
Oh yeah, I left that first Droom though. It was the really low grade, like ripped cover taped together.
oh,
But it
really?
was the first appearance of that character. They retooled him. You know, he used to be Dr. Droom, and they
Right.
retooled him to Dr. Druid or whatever.
Right.
So I left that, and I was like, man, for $2, I should have grabbed it.
But the only thing is, no one remembers Dr. Druid either. So
I found this for $6, but it's like this book is like in 9099.
Oh yeah, I don't have that issue. That's from the time period. You know why I probably didn't buy that issue? There's no skull on the cover. There's no skeleton. I'm trying to channel my inner 6-7-year-old to realize why I didn't buy that cover, and it really is. It's really, there's no monster on the cover. It's really more of an EC kind of cover.
There's no monster. There's a vampire right there.
Is he a vamp?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I thought? Yeah, it is a vampire. What I thought is he had a pillow in his hand and he was about to suffocate her, like something you'd see on an EC cover. But you're right; he's a vampire on top of a canopy bed.
Would you pay $6 for that?
Yeah.
Are you getting
if sleepy? I had $6.
Are you getting sleepy?
Yeah.
No, but that's what happens. I go to these stores and I'll sit there and go through the bins for hours just looking for that one for $2 that's either high grade or it's really killer. Yeah.
There's another one of that.
I know there's a lot of colorful covers, especially with the headdress from the Indians on a lot of those covers.
Yeah, that's just a beautiful, because you can just see the Will Elder and the Severin mixed together. And it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup. You mix together peanut butter and chocolate, two things you love, Will Elder and John Severin, and it turns out being this.
Now, if you go back and you watch a video that I did for the flea market, I don't know how back, but I talk about that. I picked up 2 different copies of Prize Western, both John Severin covers, but they look so different because you can tell there was a different inker. Because his inking is always like a lot looser. His line work.
I wasn't paying attention to the chat. Let's see. Let's go back here. Paulo says, Living Mummy stories aren't bad, but there aren't that many of them. In the 90s, the character appeared in Secret Defenders, I believe. Oh, did he come back? Okay. Cool Crypt of Shadows. Who dares text me? I don't even know where my phone is. Why would someone text me? What the heck? Oh, it's my wife. Oh, I guess she's talking. Can I please turn up the AC? Turn up the AC? Does that mean make it turn up?
It's the opposite of whatever it is. So if it's off, make it go on.
It's on.
Then make it go off.
Does that mean unless
not
it's
cold.
already set on 65. Oh, she wants it down lower. So turn up to me means make it hotter. Turn down means make it colder. But I think she means turn it up, like make it stronger.
Whichever it is, brother, you better
It
get
is
it
set on
right. You
65.
better get it right.
Yeah.
I'm shocked because I think when we put it down to 73 in our house, it's too cold. And everybody else is like 68, 67, 69. I'm like, what?
Well, I guess it's what you're used to. Today it was hot for, it was in the 80s, and she's in the attic, and I'm low on a lower floor.
I
Okay,
like
yeah, that's a cool cover.
I like chessboard covers.
Yeah.
And then
Paula
like it
says
says,
Gotham by Gaslight, first Batman Elseworld story. I have the Brazilian edition. Yeah, in the 60s, they called them imaginary stories. Elseworlds went late 80s to mid 00s. They're mostly Batman through mid 90s. Then they were more focused on alternate Justice League stories.
Paulo, I got a point here. So do you think just through the period, through the years, DC was like honing their imaginary stories? Like, well, we should just separate it now. We'll make it a separate line, but we'll keep doing it. We'll just name it something different. Who remembers Super Baby, imaginary story, Super Baby? And then he talks like, I like him. Me, Super Baby. Haha.
Yeah, I loved Super Baby. I loved all of that. That's what I resent about Crisis on Infinite Earths. It did away with all of that history.
There's two different Golden Age comic books that I found that have two different Super Babies before DC Super Baby.
Yeah.
And they created Super Baby, and what did they do? They screwed Siegel and Schuster out of the royalties for it. They weren't supposed to create any other properties without their permission.
Well, Siegel and Schuster were able to reclaim Superboy. That's why they can't really do Superboy the way he was anymore. They got that guy with a black T-shirt on now. It's
Okay, make me big.
I'm sorry. I'm responding to text and everything.
Okay, I'm gonna do a favor here for the chat. Anybody watching on the replay, you're already welcome.
Huh.
We're gonna look at a little Marvel She-Hulk, if you don't mind. Oh yeah, she's one of Charlie's Angels. Charlie. Number 43, 19, what is this? 1992? 92. Wouldn't it be cool if they did like a Charlie's Angels with She-Hulk and maybe with Black Widow? And it was like a spy movie kind of thing that had to go undercover. Comedy.
Well, that ship has sailed. They cast a homely She-Hulk that was and completely ruined that character for the world outside of comics. So
who would it be? So you'd have She-Hulk, you'd have Black Widow for like a Charlie's Angels type movie. Who would the third one be? Hellcat? No Miss Marvel. We're sick of Miss
maybe
Marvel.
Tigra. That would be interesting to bring Tigra to real life.
Oh, yeah,
If they
that's
were,
a good one.
But not these current people in charge. They could never do it right.
All right, what do we got? So you tell us out there, Charlie's Angels type Marvel movie, She-Hulk, Black Widow. Who's your third? Who's your third character?
No,
So this is from the 3-pack. So this has the no barcode.
Okay. So, but so does that make that a reprint?
I don't know. Do I care? Probably not.
Well,
I say not.
So what the Overstreet price guide did with the Whitmans is they said those ones that were in the 3-packs that you bought,
You know what?
for 79 cents, those were reprints. And then
It
it later
is.
came out that they were all part of the same print run. They just stopped the presses and covered up those elements of the trade dress. And
so then how come on the Star Wars one it says second print in the
right?
corner?
So I'm talking about those Whitman comics in the packs.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then, but Star Wars was so big that Marvel started doing reprints,
Okay.
and they mark them as reprints. There were tons of reprints. And I think if that Micronauts was sold in a pack, it was probably meant for a toy store where they sold Micronauts figures and toys. And I don't know if that's a reprint. You have to research it. I
Did you
bought that when
have
it came out.
Did you have a Micronaut?
The only one I bought at the time was Baron Karza, because I thought it was just a really cool toy. I still have that. And then in the 90s, a friend of mine was getting rid of a bunch of toys, and he was taking them to Goodwill. And I said, no, I want that. Because he believed he had this, he was really into Japanese culture. And I guess he had some mindset. He was a toy collector. He says, if I take these toys and give them away to Goodwill, toys will come back to me, like some kind of toy karma. But I said, no, you can't give that away. That's too cool. And so this is I'll show you. It's right here. I think it's right here. Yeah.
That's Karma. No, that's Kramer.
Anyway, and maybe this isn't the way he's supposed to be. Maybe he morphs into a different configuration. But I thought this was hilarious. This Micronaut character.
Oh, wow.
It just
I didn't even know about that.
In this particular pose, I think he's in that comic. It's like, what were they thinking when they made this toy? So anyway, so I now have 2 Micronaut toys.
Nice. I wish I had some.
But
they were like durable. They were made out of die cast.
That comic book was great.
They were die cast. They were heavy. They were different than all the other little action figures.
Well, that one is just plastic, but Baron Karza was very sturdy. And
there weren't too many action figures around. The Kenner did the Star Wars. They were the first. Yeah. And Micronauts wasn't too far behind, like a year maybe.
Micronauts, I think, was Mego. And I don't know if they just imported those straight over from Japan, or they bought the molds from Japan and made them here. I don't know. But, it's purely a Japanese toy, like the Shogun Warriors that's been.
Friar Tuck says Scarlet Witch.
Let's see what people are talking about.
Okay, did you remember this?
Yes. And I bought that when it came out at the 7-Eleven, and I like that TV show. And Meyer Greenblatt says that show is like on Tubi TV, but it was very much like a Submariner Aquaman kind of thing. And I remember the character was very likable. I think the guy later was on Dallas.
And then Step by Step.
But yeah, I watched that TV show when it came out. It was on TV briefly.
Do you ever try swimming like he does when you saw the show?
Oh, I remember that swim. No, I can't even swim. I never even learned to swim. So I could definitely not swim like that weird swim he did.
Okay, I know you like stuff like this, so.
Plop, yes. That issue has a letter from a friend of mine. Oh, Meyer's here. Yeah, I think that's the last issue of Plop. There's a letter from a good friend of mine in there, guy that came to my wedding. And I always admired him because he had been published in Plop.
That was
his name. It was a much better book earlier on. That's in the last few issues. That cover is very weak. Originally, there were all these great Basil Wolverton or wood covers with monsters.
Yeah, they had all
Meyer?
Hey guys, they had all the giant ones for $1, so I picked them up. The other ones,
they weren't terrible, but it was you could tell everything was. The wheels were coming off the comic at that point. So what's been up, Meyer?
Nothing. I just got back from the store.
Okay, now people laugh at me, but this Bo, this is Basil Orloff, also known as Fester 55. He says, "Hey, what the heck with your weather yonder? They canceled Trump's rally."
Mm-hmm.
And people laugh at me when I say that there are ways to manipulate the weather, but there are ways to manipulate the weather. And I would not put it past Biden's White House to somehow create bad weather to keep Trump from talking, especially after he basically won the 2024 election on Wednesday night with a CNN appearance. That was so great.
I know.
It was.
And I'm telling you, Texas voted overwhelmingly for Trump, and then Texas was punished about a month later, and all the electricity was turned off. The temperatures were ridiculously low, 0 degrees for Texas, and we almost froze in our house. The power was off for 24 hours or more. It got down to, I think, 40, 41 degrees in the house, which doesn't seem that cold to me anymore. But when it's in your house, it's bad. Somehow when you go outside and it's 41 degrees, it doesn't seem that bad. I don't know. And we didn't know how long it was going to last. Then they turned the electricity on, but you can't drink the water because the water purifying plant has, I got that too. That I didn't go see that movie in the theater though, because it got such bad reviews, I think. And I had to get someone to drive me to the theater at that age. And
We went. I think my cousin, me, and we probably saw it 3 times in one day. That was one of those situations where we probably saw that at a matinee and then stayed. You know how you would do that?
Yeah,
2 or 3 times, same theater. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
that was the summer of Logan's Run, right?
Yeah, it was. It was a summer. That's when we would do that sort of thing in the summertime.
They call that binge.
And we'd spend all day at the movie theater.
Yeah,
they call that binge streaming.
The summer of
Isn't
Logan's
that funny
Run
that we
and
do it now?
Future World.
Yeah, and it's binge watching, but back then you would just pay one time and you get in the theater and just spend like 7 hours at the movies.
And then the next year was Star Wars, and everything was changed after that.
The red suited Lone Ranger.
Yeah, well, he was
a much bad,
all blue by the TV series. So this is pre-TV series.
Who was badder ass, the red shirted Lone Ranger or the blue shirted?
I don't know that I've read very much of the red shirted ones. I've just read the blue shirt when he's in like the 50s in the Dell comics.
Here, I got a #1 issue by one of your favorite bands.
I don't know what that's like.
This is Frosted Flake covered Kiss.
What?
It looks like that was from that movie, The Phantom of the Kiss versus The Phantom of the Park or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Sugar coated Kiss. Except that's Eric Carr in there instead of Peter Criss.
Oh, is it? So then it's
it's not Eric Carr. I'm sorry. It's
Peter Criss.
Peter Thayer. Or Tommy Thayer, the guitar player.
Oh, is it? So it's not Peter Criss right there.
No, it's Peter Criss. It's not Ace Frehley.
Oh, it's not Ace Frehley. Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's Peter either. That might be a new drummer. I don't think that's Peter. But anyways, cool cover.
Yeah, it is.
This is even cooler.
Oh, nice.
Now, this is a beat up copy. I found it in an antique store because I have this from my childhood. And in my childhood, I kept my copy in better condition. But this one is. Oh,
nice.
This is one of those characters that Gold Key created that was not based on a cartoon or another property. Wacky Witch, Little Monsters. What other things did Gold Key come up with on their own? But Cracky. The Cracky was like the mascot of Gold Key there for a while. Cracky the parrot or whatever.
You know what's great? You know what's great about these? You can find them in the dollar bin all day long.
Well, maybe you can. I can't. I'm not near a comic store, so. But I even.
Well, let me rephrase that. When you're near comic book stores, then you can find them in the dollar bin.
If the comic store owner even puts them out, some comic store owners won't even bother putting them on the floor because they have limited space and they don't think anyone will buy them. And they'll just chunk these in the trash, really.
Here's some G8 or GR.
Hold on. GR, huh?
Some 80s Ghost Rider.
That's
Love
nice.
the whole setup. The Marvel comic could be worth $2,500 to you.
I couldn't stand that when that happened, when it came out. I was buying these monthly, at the comic shop at this point, and this bugged me. That banner at the top for the free bicycles and the $2,500. It was harshing my cover buzz.
Oh,
yeah, I really wanted more cover. I didn't like the ad thing.
That the corner box on this is so cool.
It's Friar, Texas. Thank God it's your channel, Gratu, because you're getting political again. Well, I'm political, so if you want me on your show, I'm going to be political because we're in horrible times. If you can just ignore what's going on, that the country's being taken over, then you're a better person than me. I just can't. I got to say something about it. I should be like Paul Revere riding a horse. Oh, what do you got there?
That's nice.
You got your skull, your werewolf.
But what's going on with the skull? Oh, it's a werewolf skull. It's got fangs.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen a skull like this before, either man or beast. And then there's that guy.
That guy's face looks a little strange.
And so is the tail for a werewolf.
Yeah, this artist. Who is that artist? That artist is a little strange, like
the feline tail. That's a cat tail, not a dog tail.
That's right. Who does this?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well,
he's like a puma or something. It's a buckler and Giordano.
Oh, okay.
Still killer cover. It looks like a werewolf. I mean, he's behind a moon, so
Yeah,
you would
think maybe it's where's cat?
Wildcat. Ooh, number one, Marvel, huge cartoon. Used to watch it religiously.
Laugh Olympics.
Yeah, I love this.
What was the dog on the Really Rottens was the funniest?
I don't think I ever watched that.
Muttley.
Never?
Dastardly.
Yeah. That guy, right? That dog, he laughs so funny.
Isn't this? I think I was maybe 14 or 15 at the time. In my defense,
and I watched it. I watched it when I was 14. And 15.
I don't know.
I'm just guessing when this was on TV was like 7th or 8th grade for us, Gratu, I think.
Okay.
This is 78.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so that was 7th grade for me.
Laugh Olympics. I don't know. I guess I
watched all of it. I watched I never missed a Saturday morning until
this was the fun. It was the best one.
I was in the Army with guys that didn't miss Saturday mornings. I mean, I'm serious. I'm serious. All the way up to the.
I'm sure I was watching cartoons, but I was probably watching something on the other network.
I think this is the one that rounded out. It was like the last. You waited, and then I was like, "Okay, this is we're gonna watch it." And then you go, "We're gonna watch the play right after this." Because after that, they had that like kids news kind of crap, where it was like the kids doing the news.
Right.
There was like, felt like PBS homemade kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, do you remember coming home after school and having the after school special? The ABC.
Yeah, that was horrible.
The ABC after school special.
I'll tell you the most horrible memory of my childhood is Zoom.
Oh yeah,
barefoot kids running around. It's horrible.
Oh, let me tell you a story.
They'll have an accent from Zoom.
So reading Rainbow. So my niece, when this is before I married my wife, but my niece by my wife, when she was like 8 or something, she called the number on the TV, and they told her that you need a parent, whatever. So she would beg her mom. Her mom wouldn't respond. Told her no. So she did this for a couple of weeks. Finally, she called and pretended to be her mom. And she got through, and she got scheduled to come and appear for the show, the Reading Rainbow. So they said, you'll get a call back with your time and all that when you got to be there. So they called back, and she goes, the mom, the phone's for you. It's for you. Who is it? It's for you. So her mom answered it. She had scheduled. So she took her down there, and she was on Reading Rainbow. 8 years old.
That's awesome.
I know, great story.
I've never even seen Reading Rainbow. I don't know that show.
Dude,
I've heard of it.
You do American pop culture and you've never watched Reading Rainbow?
No, when was it on? Early 80s?
Yeah, I think so.
I was
I
in.
watched it
I was like
Early to
about ready
late
to graduate
80s.
high school. Why would I be watching Reading Rainbow?
I'm telling you, I watched it. I was doing all that too. I was driving in cars and I was into girls and smoking pot, but I still watched Reading Rainbow.
Well,
Let
that
me
might
ask
have
you
had
this.
something to do.
Let me ask you this. Have you guys ever watched a show called Hodgepodge Lodge?
No.
No. So this is an obscure PBS show for kids. It was about like the lady would teach crafts in nature, and it was in like a old log cabin, like a big one, like a tiny museum classroom type thing. They
Yeah.
would go out in the woods with a group of kids. Well, so I was trying to figure out why can I never find anything out about this PBS show. So on Wikipedia, it said at the time it was a small studio and they would reuse the tape. So they just tape new shows right over all the
Right.
old tapes. So there was no tapes left of the show.
Yeah.
That you can go on YouTube and you can see like the openings, like the opening theme and stuff, but there's no. It's called Hodgepodge Lodge. It was a really good show. I really liked it a lot as a
That
kid.
happened with a lot of shows because videotape was very expensive, and they would a lot of early Tonight shows. A lot of
Yeah, it was
things
done.
didn't survive.
Wasn't done. They weren't intending for it to survive. That wasn't even like an aspect that they were concerned about at that point. Preservation wasn't what they were into.
Yeah, they
Survival.
didn't know there'd be a market in the future.
No. We
I'll
used to
tell
have
you that.
Oh, what is that?
So Godzilla, like a recent one.
Number one from 1987.
To me,
Okay.
1987's recent. I mean,
Did you guys ever hear of TV Pow? We had a show called TV Pow.
I never heard of that.
no.
This was about 77, 78. It was right around the time that video game technology was brand new. Here's what TV Pow was. It was a call-in show. It was an aspect to a show called Captain Cosmic that was like an after-school TV kids show that showed Japanese animation. It was hosted by Bob Wilkins, the guy from Creature Features, but he was wearing like a Star Wars getup, and he called himself Captain Cosmic, right?
Uh-huh.
So TV Pow, you would call in, and on your TV screen there would be a video game, and there would be like the video games would cycle, and they would be different sometimes. But on the screen there would be like a target, and you call in, and if you get picked on the call in and you're live on the show, you're watching the TV, and when the target comes across your TV screen, you go pow, 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 and every time you say pow, apparently in the TV studio somebody's pushing a button and making something fire, and it was making you think that you're like interactive playing a video game on TV live in front of like everybody else who's watching Captain Cosmic. So anyway, one day my actual girlfriend, Lori Barbados, who I was going out with, she called in and she got through the queue, and she was live on TV Pow. It was
nice. Oh, is
well,
it?
my older brother and I and me, my
Guys,
older brother and I,
I'll
say
be
it
right back.
correctly, and must have been the early 80s. We were watching the Jerry Lewis telethon, and I had a one of those dart guns that would shoot out a suction cup dart.
right.
And my older brother, I was probably, I was in high school. He was in his 20s and married, and they had a new TV, and we were shooting darts, and they'd stick on Jerry Lewis's forehead. We thought it was really funny until the TV the next day went on the fritz. It was a brand new TV because we've been, I guess, hitting the picture tube. Here's Kevin from Gotham City Comics.
Awesome.
Kevin, we've seen some of the books you just got in, I think, tonight. I believe.
Did you
How
ever
you
see-
doing? How
Hey,
was
Kevin.
that?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much. How are sales today? Did you have a busier day?
Way busier than yesterday.
Oh, good.
It was almost like pretty complicated.
Well,
Did you ever hear of a show called? Well, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of Winky Dink and Me. You ever heard of
right,
Winky
we
Dink?
draw on the screen, yeah.
Yeah, you draw on the TV set. You would get so I only did it one time, and it was when I was visiting my godparents, staying with them for like a week when my mother went to Hawaii, and I was really little, like 5 or 6. And so my godmother took me to the store. This was in LA. And at this time in the early 70s, Winky Dink and Me was on Los Angeles television. They lived in Glendale. So
reruns of it, I guess.
What's that?
Wasn't Winky Dink a show from like 1955 or something?
I don't know. It was still on. They were showing it in like 1970 or 1971 in LA. Yeah. And they were also selling the set at the store, because that's where I found out about it, was that I saw the set at the store, and it looked like a color form set. And it was like a sheet of plastic that you stuck across the TV screen, and then a series of colored pens, because then what you're doing is making art on your TV screen. But yeah, I only did it for like that week that I stayed there with them, because they didn't have it on where we lived. They didn't have it up north on TV.
Right. Oh yeah, I like that comic. And then later they put together a cassette set with it.
I think this is what that is. This is
that the one. There was a smaller one.
Yeah,
there was one that was on the news. Yeah, that's the smaller one. Yeah.
Great little series. Great art.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember really liking that. Another early spooky.
The coolest of the ghosts, right? He's like the cool one.
Yeah.
I don't know what year that is.
I'd say about 1960, I'm guessing.
So
I sold that Deadpool today.
Oh, how much?
I got 150 for it.
150.
Oh, that's outstanding. That's right.
What Deadpool was it?
New Mutants 98.
Oh, okay.
It had a crease on the back cover.
Oh.
I was hoping it was Deadpool #1, because I'm like, yay, I'll sell mine.
I have Deadpool #1. Which one, though?
The first real full series.
What do they call it? Circle something?
No, not that one. The other one.
Is that the first DC? I think he appeared in some other book first as a little supplement, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I just bought it because it was there and it was cheap.
Now this is a weird. Let me make myself full screen for a second. This looks like it's based on a cartoon, but I don't think anything ever existed. Zodi the Mod Rob. Oh yeah. But it looks like it very much looks like it's based on a cartoon.
That is freaking cool, dude.
But see, it doesn't say Hanna-Barbera or Filmation. It says Western Publishing. Yeah. So I think this is an original creation from Gold Key.
Yeah.
What was that other one? Dr. Evil J Scientist? Is that a Gold Key creation?
That's Gold Key, and wasn't that was from what the Snooper Mouse or something. So I forget what cartoon that was a spinoff from. But Zodi the Mod Rob.
Here's a corner box variant. Comes out next week.
Oh, they're doing a giant corner box.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like art on the side of a van. Oh, he's got a J Evil Scientist.
Yeah, there it is. J Evil. What a strange cover, or a strange title. Great cover. But I just
picked this up for free.
Hold on.
I was in that Gold Key collection.
Oh, that's good.
Nice book, Mike.
There's the new Avengers reprint that's coming out next week.
That's like a 9/8 candidate right there.
Well, he's got all because it's brand new. These are all the books that come out Wednesday. He's already got them.
This book was in there.
Oh, the Scarecrow. Yeah. Yep. I don't
have that yet. I don't have that Scarecrow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's valuable or not, but it's cool.
Covers.
And that I always like that. Yeah, I have that Spider Ham.
Yeah, I bought that also. Just a weird one of those weird situations.
I wish issue 2 had Goose Rider #1 or Goose Rider as
that Not Brand X you showed earlier is now a pretty pricey book. It didn't used to be.
Really?
Well, it used to be you could get that for $10, $15. I think it's way up there now.
Yeah,
Here's Fantastic Four, 700.
that Spider-Verse movie did that, right? To it.
What is
There's your man.
it?
Perry Goldwater.
What did you say about 700?
700 issue right here.
Oh, I thought you said Spider Ham went for $700.
No.
Okay, that's the 700th issue of Fantastic Four, huh? But what happened to them starting the numbering over and over again? Have they finally gone back to
Anybody remember this show?
original numbering, I guess? Oh, it's
There's two
issue
numbers.
7, but
I love
it
that.
really should be
One of
700.
my favorites. I love F Troop.
Yeah, F Troop was great.
I have the DVD collection.
Do you remember a show called Topper about two people killed in an avalanche? And
Yeah,
they
I
hunt,
remember that show.
they hunt the
Based
guy
on
at the
the-
lodge.
The movie series.
Yeah, I used
I
to
remember
watch
the
that all the
movies
time.
more than the TV series.
It was good. I watched the TV show like back in the 80s when I was in North Carolina. It was one of those shows that was on syndication late at night.
Yeah.
Black and white
I used
show.
to watch it early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah, I liked it. It was good.
with the Phil Silver show following.
Where I love those Wilco shows. Phil Silver.
Doberman, Private
Yeah.
Doberman.
Dracula's cool. I'm not sure if I have that one or not.
Gil Kane, man.
I'm
Have your-
almost out of bags and boards.
This is what I just pulled out to read, but I found it in a 50-cent bin. But
Where?
it's super thick. A 50-cent bin's Hero Comics or Hero Graphic.
I've never heard of that.
Neither.
And look how thick that thing is. It's from
Yeah.
1991. It says, so I guess these were like different packages of issues from the first print that they had left, and they bundled them together, put a
Oh,
the same
okay. Yeah.
put a same cover on them. Oh, you ever get these? Ooh, that's a cool one.
What do you got there? The little digest. Let
I
me
love
blow you up here.
Blue Ribbon Digest.
I never thought
Yeah.
about putting two in a comic bag.
I've never seen that before. Mine are on the shelf.
I
on a
don't
book.
think you may have invented a new trick.
That's smart. Yeah, they fit
Yeah,
perfectly.
I have
They're
them
like
on
those
a
Coordinates.
shelf too. Huh.
Yeah, and then you could put them in your box and store them.
Yeah, I never would have thought.
Man, what a day growing up when these were out. It was just so cool to be in a grocery store. And
Yeah.
Well, they were right there at the checkout stand, weren't they? Remember that? They were. Yep.
you'd be all excited. Mom, can I get this book? And she'd be like, yes. And then all of a sudden the lady in front goes, I think I'll write a check. And you're like, no. It's great to be alive during those times. You know, people writing checks. These digests were out.
I remember Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chops.
I
Oh,
saw a
yeah.
woman write a check the other day at the supermarket.
Did
That was
you-
kind of a throwback?
Oh, was she in front of you?
Yeah, but I didn't have anywhere to go. It's all right. You know, it's usually some lady that's the age that my mother would have been if she lived and everything. So I don't mind. I mean, that's just how their generation did it.
Let me ask you a personal question.
Yeah.
Do you like gay comics?
Is it about 1940s? And that's a little tiny comic.
1955, a nickel comic. Gay comics.
Oh my gosh! So what are they doing there in your comic there, Kevin? It's what is that book? It's a new Captain Carrot book.
Oh, that just came out.
This is old.
How old?
It's probably the first CGC cover on a cover.
Yeah, but how long has CGC been around? It's only started to annoy me in the last few years. So
I've known about CGC since like early 2000s, I think.
oh, they've been around that long, huh?
Let's see, this book came out in 2007.
Oh, okay. I guess that's why I'm not aware of this book, is it's just came out at the wrong time. Oh, Alf Facing Death. Do you have the one with the seal?
I don't think I feel comfortable having that in my collection.
There's just too many places to look tonight. Where do I look?
If I seem excited to go to somebody, look what I got. They'll be like, okay. They're like, Tommy, Timmy, let's go. We're leaving. Here's an Australian comic, Convicted Comics.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
When I seen it, I'm like, I gotta have that.
Is that a crime comic?
Yeah. You know, I've never looked inside of it.
It looks like they're trying to make it less romantic to be a criminal. Instead of saying crime, it's like the convicted. You know, it's already telling you that these people are going to be punished.
Jack, quick, swing the boat around. Joe, look, the Harbor Patrol, they're not stopping us now. Give her the gas, Mac. And they're going to ram the police.
These are the new Planet of the Apes comics. They don't really look okay.
Wow. That looks like Conan the Ape.
Yeah. Looks like a football uniform they're wearing.
Got football pads on.
Oh,
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have the first transracial cover.
Okay.
It's by DC.
What is it? Let's see.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
Are you sure that's the first one? Wasn't the first one when Lois Lane turned black?
I don't know. I was just kidding.
Wasn't right? What issue is that? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, what year is that? I don't know.
Like 68, 69, I guess.
Okay, this is 64.
Oh, then that's definitely earlier, yeah.
Never seen a hotter girl in green.
So that's the new thing, is to have giant corner boxes this week, huh?
You can appreciate this.
Floating head covers.
Did you see the movie that inspired this storyline? The Land That Time Forgot?
Well, the book that inspired
1971. Yeah, probably the book.
Well, the Land That Time Forgot came out about 1974 or 75.
Was it? I thought it was 71.
No, the book came out probably in 1918 or 1920 or something. So the book is what really inspired those. The movie came later because all those GIs versus Dinosaur books were in the were 10 years before the movie Land from the Time Forgot. And the Jerry Lewis book was always great. Bob Hope was even better as far as getting monsters on every issue of the.
I think some of that is Sheldon Mayer as well. Like we mentioned, Sheldon Mayer and Sugar and Spike earlier. I feel like he was involved in some of that at that point.
It's great stuff. Are you still open right now, Kevin?
No, I closed a little bit ago.
Let's see.
I recommend picking this one up out of the dollar bin whenever you.
I'm just saying, as Gratu seems to be against that. Wait, let me see what people are talking about. This Planet of the Apes smash-ups are cool. Instead of just buying for the cover or date of Jumbo Meat. Oh, I'm against just buying for the cover. Yeah, I guess that's what they're saying. I'm not trying to.
You're not a cover buyer.
I missed something people are saying. Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to see. Yeah, well, I like covers, of course, but I kind of need the contents to be interesting too. I won't just buy.
You do what I do. If you buying it just for the cover, you tell everybody, "Oh, I'm going to read it."
Yeah, I mean,
and then you read it.
I bought a few books that had amazing covers.
What is that? Just a plaque? Is that like a wall hanging?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it's like a replica of the one at Disneyland at the entrance, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much is that?
They probably, let me see if it has a price.
So this was a great summer. I don't remember the exact year. I'm guessing maybe 70, 71, 72. It was the year that the Haunted Mansion opened. It premiered at Disneyland, and we used to go. So I lived in both Southern and Northern California. We were like, I don't know what you call it, but anyway, we had houses both north and south, and so we went to Disneyland 3-4 times a year as a family. So this was a big deal when this opened. I remember like being there, like in that line, all excited. I was about 7, maybe 6 or 8. I don't know. It was awesome.
Yeah, that
What were the excitement come from? Did they promote it heavily, or?
Yeah, they did promote it. They promoted it on television a lot. So it would have been. We learned about it from TV, from them talking about it on TV. I'm sure.
Right.
Wonderful World of Disney, like, would have had an episode, I think, showing like the creation of it and things like that. So it was a real big deal. You know how the climax of the ride at the end, when you're sitting in the buggy and you look in the mirror and you see that there's a ghost in the car with you, right? That was a big deal at the time, man. Everything that was in there was the stretching paintings, everything that was happening, looking at the ghosts down below in the party dancing and stuff, the big birthday party or whatever that was. It was a big deal. The special effects were top tier at that point there.
oh,
Nobody
okay.
had ever done it better than
Let's
what
do
was
it.
happening.
There's Friar Tuck saying, now, Night Tigers. Actually, a guy that actually reads his comics, as opposed to.
Oh yeah, I read
I've
everything.
seen Night Tiger kind of chiding people on his show that, says, "Do you read those books?" And they'll say, "Well, I don't know. They have a lot more words in these old Golden Age books than the new ones." Or they'll say, "I don't like to touch my comics. I don't like to read them online because I'm afraid I'll damage the books." Night Tiger is all into reading the books and smelling them. I'm not sure.
I just get a kick out of the names. Moomba.
Oh,
Moomba is here.
Cool.
Like Stan said, let's think of something opposite of frightening. Moomba.
So that Haunted Mansion plaque is something for sale, or going to be up for sale, or what?
Are you interested?
I think it would look really cool on the porch of the house. Yeah.
You got any reasonable offers?
I'm just asking what it would
Gotham. If I get you a good deal, do I get 10% kickback there? Here's a good little bit of a key I found in a dollar bin.
Oh yeah. Is that pretty valuable now? I bought that when it came out.
I believe it's over $100 for a nice.
Oh, cool. Cool. That's good.
I don't plan on selling it. You always get this question from people that aren't collectors. They know that you have a lot of comics and they're old and they're good ones. Oh, how much is your whole collection worth, do you think? And I'm like, I don't sit around and ever think about it. I have to add them up, get a calculator. Who knows? I mean,
yeah.
I had a friend over a couple weeks ago, and he says, "So, what's your most valuable comic? Like, what's the one that's worth the most?" And I was like, "Geez, I don't even know. I don't know. I mean, that's just a weird question. It was hard for me to, I didn't even have an answer."
Well, I know when they ask the question in your head, you're like Archie Bunker. You're like, oh, sheesh, here we go again.
It's a little easier for me because I don't really have that many valuable books. Probably there's this one L.B. Cole pre-code, like Ghostly Weird Stories or something. I know that one's pretty valuable. That could be like an $800 book, but most of the books I've got aren't that valuable. Maybe after that, maybe the first appearance of Wolverine, the first real appearance, but that's not worth as much as the one that's not his first appearance.
Hey,
I don't have I have the sec, or is it the first? Okay, I've got it's the second issue of the Galactus trilogy where they're running from Galactus. The first one's got the Watcher on the cover. I got the second issue of the Galactus trilogy, so that's probably pretty valuable. I got the first Black Panther, but really I don't have that much.
I don't either. My type of stuff is similar to like your type of stuff. So for me, and then on top of that, it's a difficult question because I don't have any intention of ever selling any of
Right.
this stuff.
That's another
Exactly.
thing. I don't think
For
about
me, the
that
most
for that reason.
valuable comics are maybe the first 20 or 30 that I ever owned. The first stack of comics that I had, that was 20 or 30 of them, and I didn't even know that bags existed or bags didn't
Yeah.
exist yet. And so I just carried those 20 or 30 comics. I took them with me every time we would go on vacation or for a weekend, a sleepover. I would bring them with me everywhere you went. Remember how you
Yep.
take them, and even though you had read them all, you would just read them all over again, over and over and over again.
Whoever
Yeah.
would have thought that someone else besides yourself was going to want that comic
Right.
and then actually pay money? So there was no mindset to that yet.
Yeah, they're books that are valuable to you, but they may not be valuable
Okay,
to the average.
we have to forgive the non-collector. It's not their fault. They don't have the third eye like we do, and
I know.
they think there's some magical one number out there that you're going to just pull out of the air and go 100 grand,
but what you're-
$100,333.63.
It's a natural question to ask,
Yeah,
though.
it is.
And I wouldn't, I'm not as upset with that so much as I am with people that are supposed to be fellow collectors that have no interest in what's inside the comics, that are buying them as trophies for the wall. And it's just a sport to send them off to a bunch of strangers and see what rating they get on the book.
You didn't see my latest edited video?
I'm
I
not
put
sure.
the Seinfeld segment up there where they talk about George wants to get his books back because his girlfriend, he broke up with his girlfriend. So I edited comic books. And then Jerry goes, well, what do you want them for? And I edited in for George because I collect them.
Well,
and Jerry's like, what do people do with comic books? They just hoard them in their house like trophies. If you read them, what do you need them for?
Right.
It's true, but they bring you a warm, fuzzy feeling when you get near them. It's like they radiate something to you.
Yeah, that's us. That it works for us, but for other people, like 50% of the public, they're like, once you read a book, you should just throw it away. You don't need it. You don't need to keep all the books that you've read. It doesn't, right? A lot of people don't understand life the way that we understand life.
Yeah.
Or enjoy it in the same way. Like, why do you have all these books? Have you read all these already? And I'm like, yeah, most of them. Well, what are you keeping them for? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah, that people do think that way. And,
I think
I
got probably like
made a great point the other night. He was saying that you keep books because that's the only way you can preserve culture, because everything that's electronic, it can be easily altered or destroyed. But a book, you can preserve, what life was like at a certain time, and they can't alter that. And so he said it's real important to have, he was saying, things that you can smell. And he was saying books you can smell, your family, your friends, not that they haven't taken a bath, but other people have a scent.
Yeah,
they're real. They really exist, instead of just how many friends you get on Facebook. And he said he was saying gunpowder. These are the important things in life. And that was the last thing he said before a speech to somebody, the Heritage Foundation or something, right? Like 2 days before he got fired from Fox. But books are very important. And
it's
basically
comics, it's relationships. Even with the book, you have a relationship with that book.
Yeah, and
it gives you something, you give it back.
Right.
The books
the same with the TV and the cartoons, like you were saying. You and your wife watch Newhart, right? The reason why you keep going back to Newhart, and the reason why we watch those shows from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, because there's guaranteed comfort, familiarity, enjoyment. We don't have to waste time looking for something good. We know it's going to be good already, and tied into our emotions.
But if you watch these shows, since I went back and watched the Bob Newhart and then the Newhart, and I'm a big Seinfeld fanatic. You can see where Seinfeld stole a whole lot of different stuff.
That's
I
an
mean,
interesting
the
point.
Howard character from Bob Newhart is Kramer. He comes over, he borrows everything, just like Kramer.
You're
So
right.
he stole, but a lot of the greats, they know that you steal what works. You steal what works, and then you put your twist on it.
Yeah.
Because if it works for them, it's going to work for you. But these people today, they want to put, oh no, we're going to do a whole new thing, and people are going to like it. And when nobody likes it, they whine. Instead of going back and repeating history, look at what's been done before. Look at what's the funniest shows. How do they present the comedy? It's
And
so
Bob
simple.
Newhart might be taking something from old radio or from some show we're not even aware of. And I mean, it's like these are just things that and
But what does
the
he do?
books-
Like Jerry, he hires the best people around him. The funniest people are around him, and he don't have to be that funny. Then he's just a straight guy, and
Yeah.
that's what Seinfeld did.
Mhm.
So he had this genius comedians.
That was beautiful, wasn't she?
Who's that? Who's that?
Suzanne Plachette, wasn't she beautiful?
Oh, I just love watching the
That
show
makes
just
that
to watch
just
her.
completely enjoyable. You can just watch it every episode just to watch Suzanne
Dude,
Plachette.
I had a crush all over just watching it when seeing her.
That's
Joanna, the lady that plays Joanna, she's beautiful, but she's no Susanna.
Mhm.
Susanna had that has that Mediterranean sexy.
And their apartment. They had that high-rise apartment like Chicago or something where they were living. Oh, it was great. And also, you're right. He was a psychologist in that show, and they had the recurring patients that were wacky, like Seinfeld. Like,
yeah. What was Mr. Carlin was a big one. Carol, Jerry. Jerry was actually produced a lot of those shows.
You're right. What a great show.
The guy that played Jerry, he actually produced a lot of shows, and you realize the neighbor, Jerry was the dentist, and then on Dick Van Dyke, Jerry was the dentist.
Huh.
You remember that?
I didn't know that. I didn't
I don't think I ever really watched Bob Newhart. That's something I need to investigate.
Yeah, they have it on Amazon if you got Amazon.
Yeah,
it's definitely worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
I grew up on the Jeffersons. I remember my mom used to tell me, "You're not watching Three's Company. It's not for kids." I'm like, "Oh, what the heck is what is it? I can't see." And I never still stay understood. What is it that she? I know it was adult situations, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was just funny. She's always like, "You're not watching Three's Company." American's Greatest Hero.
Yeah,
that was a great show.
It was good. You know, I just Dynasty the other night for first time in forever, and it was a random episode. I didn't like start with season 1, episode 1. I watched like season 2, episode 5, and what was interesting about it was that when I went into it, this was a show that I didn't watch at all when it was on television because it was during my high school years. It was like 81 to 84 or something like that. So I was driving in cars. And it was a Friday or Saturday night show, right?
Yeah.
I was never even home to watch Dynasty, but my mom and all of my aunts and uncles, the neighbor lady, everybody watched that show. I just knew who Linda Evans was, and you know, we knew who everybody was. But so I watched one episode the other night. The whole episode was basically like the synopsis, what you could sum like the 52 minutes down to was marital infidelity and closeted homosexuality. That was the entire. I mean, those were the main basis. That was like the main plot. And I was like, wow, I didn't really realize that. And I thought about it. And that's interesting that all these 60-year-old people were sitting in their their lazy boy chairs in 1980. And it was this soap opera stuff. It was just about infidelity and sexual stuff.
Oh, we used to watch Knots Landing. It was, everybody was cheating on everybody else. That's all the shows were about.
Yeah, I never really watched any of those primetime soap operas. Dallas, I only watched because it was such a big deal. about who shot JR. I watched the episode where they revealed who, but I could care less really who shot JR. What do you have there? What is that thing?
Yeah,
I
what
just
is
made
that?
a trade with somebody.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I
What
had to
is
let
it?
somebody in.
What is that, Kevin?
A creature pin.
Oh, a pin. Okay. Oh, it's cool.
Oh, okay. It's just got the Frankenstein on the card. Okay.
Does
Cool.
it glow in the dark? Let me see.
I liked watching Knots Landing just because me and my sister would watch Knots Landing. They had that
I
blonde
watched Knots Landing too. Knots Landing was enjoyable. So those other ones, Dallas and Dynasty, were about really wealthy people. Knots Landing was about like upper middle class people in like the LA basin or something. Remember how it was
right. Yeah.
tracking? And it was. I watched it. I watched that. I remember
There are a
watching
lot
it.
of shows. I remember just the opening credits and the theme song because that would come on after something I would watch, and I remember that. But I never really watched the show. So I mean, the Dallas theme song, but I just never watched it.
Mhm.
I really loved the Love American Style theme song.
Oh,
That was a
yeah,
great.
that was a good show.
If that was like a whole pop song, and maybe it is. Maybe there's an actual 3-minute version of that. Yeah, I just thought that was a great tune.
There was a lot of actors got their start on that too.
That's such a great show. That's like the comfort food of television to me. That television show is like a bowl of oatmeal or something.
Does anyone run that now? Is that on Tubi or anything?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in years. It's not. I don't know.
And then the Saturday Superstar movie theme gets still stuck in my head.
Yeah. Oh man, you're right. That was
We
same
used
deal.
to have the creature hour, and it had like in black and white, a spider would be crawling over. Like
I love
this-
that.
on this book.
Angela's song, I think. Is that what the name of the taxi is called? Angela's song or Angela's?
Yeah, I remember that. That was kind of a haunting song. That was weird.
It's a sad, sad song, but it's beautiful. But it's like that's what Taxi was like. Taxi was fun but sad, right?
Oh, the movie.
No, the TV show.
The TV show, yeah.
Oh, that was a great show. I have it all on all the seasons. What about Night Stalker?
Oh,
That was
man, yeah.
great.
You
And
remember a show? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say Night Gallery too.
Oh yeah. Used to watch that.
I never saw Night Gallery till later. I didn't see him when it was on first run. And when I first saw Night Gallery, it was after I had been exposed to the Twilight Zone. And I just thought, what the heck? This isn't as good as the Twilight Zone. And it's because the studio was interfering. It wasn't because Rod Serling had lost his mind, but
Yeah,
it was. I like Night Gallery, but compared to the Twilight Zone, it was just no competition.
Do you remember a show called Buffalo Bill?
Yeah, I remember that show. What was the name of that actor? The guy from 9 to 5 with
Yeah, I forget his name.
Lily Tomlin.
Didn't the show change the name or something?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I thought you
Season
meant
2,
like
they had a name change.
Yeah, I think he was like, was he a radio? It was about a
Newspaper guy, I think.
Dabney Coleman.
Yeah,
There you go. Thank you,
I think
Dabney
he was,
Coleman,
I think he was a newspaper guy.
newspaper guy. Okay.
You remember the movie he did where he thought he was supposed to die? He had cancer or something. He was a cop, so he did all these things where he tried to like get himself killed.
No, I don't remember.
You don't
that.
remember that movie? It's from the 80s. It's really good. I forget the name of it.
Mm-mm.
You remember a movie called So Fine? I saw that with my parents. It's like a guy that invents jeans that have. Never mind.
No,
Oh,
never
with
heard of that.
the open apple bottom on the jeans,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
They did a movie on him.
What year was that?
man, I don't know. I mean, I know it was before I could drive, or I wouldn't be at that movie with my parents.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm trying to think when did that come out?
I would say, hey Siri, when did the movie So Fine come out?
So Fine was released on September 25th, 1981.
Okay.
Okay, so I probably saw that on Showtime or HBO. That's where I
Yeah.
would have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of uncomfortable movies though as a kid with my whole family because of the weird situation. Like I kind of lived a spoiled child life. Like I was allowed to stay up late and go to rated R movies and stuff. And so we saw a bunch of uncomfortable stuff. That
There was
like,
something very unsavory about the 70s. I mean, it's okay to get all nostalgic for it and everything, but there were really twisted things coming out then that could never come out today. And I don't I don't know if I even understand it.
We used to
Movies like
have
Pretty Baby
that's cool.
and
We saw, dude. I saw Pretty Baby with my mom.
The stuff that came out was just a lot of movies that were really twisted. It was just like it was a very cocaine fueled kind of disgusting under the surface time. There's a lot of great stuff from the 70s, like Wacky Packages, and I remember all the great stuff from the 70s. But then there was all this just nasty. It was pretty horrible when I think back on it.
I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking back to.
Well, I'm thinking back to a lot of the really perverse stuff that was in culture, and I kind of recoiled from it and stuck to these comics and to old things. I retreated to old music, and but it just they could do things in movies then. I'm trying to think of examples of movies.
Oh yeah, because I'll get PG movies with
it was in everything.
John Candy.
But I mean, a movie studio would never release a movie with like okay, like The Exorcist, you know, things that movies with a 12-year-old. I mean, it's just unbelievable what they got away with in that movie. Some of the things that in the movie Pretty Baby with Brooke Shields, and it was just a lot of. The more you look at it, it was a really perverse time. You got to look under the surface of what we remember was heartwarming. You know, we remember the good stuff like Star Wars there, but there was a lot of twisted stuff like what you're talking about. All these TV shows, like you know, it was just like so much. Three's Company. Every episode was just
I think
nothing.
You're way too cynical.
Huh?
You're way too cynical. You're seeing like
I'm seeing the beginnings of what they're doing to us now. The beginnings of their feeding us this.
But you don't forsake the
diet
good times of the past.
Huh?
Don't forsake the good times of the past.
There are good times, but I see the beginnings of what they're doing now, which is to our culture, and
they've been doing that for 1,000 years.
Huh?
Or they do that. All cultures do that. It's like a cycle of power and greed. Anyways, but we should talk pop culture. That's more heartwarming.
But it is pop culture. Pop culture is being spoon-fed to us with stuff like Son of Satan and
I just watched Butterflies Are Free the other night on Prime Video with Goldie Hawn looking fantastic. All right, that movie completely held up. It's a great movie. It's filmed in San Francisco in about 1967 or 68, and there's a viscerality to it that was there in the 60s and 70s. Like when you're talking Grotto, you're reminding me of things like Midnight Cowboy, Dog Day Afternoon,
Soylent Green.
No, not Soylent Green. Tommy. I'm talking like the visceral 70s stuff where you're seeing like grime and dirt and sex stuff that was they're letting 12-year-olds go into the movie theater and watch, you know,
Easy Rider. No.
Creepy at times.
Well, it was the late 60s when that stuff started. You're right. It was kind of about that time. I don't know. It's just you think in the early 70s, you would look back on stuff like Leave It to Beaver and Father Knows Best, and it seemed like it was made 50 years before, and in reality, it was only about 10 or 12 years old. When he's watching Father Knows Best, and he says, "Well, kitten, make sure you say your prayers," and it's like, 12 years later, 15 years later, we've got Three's Company, and it just, it really was. I enjoyed Three's Company, but everything was, I don't know. It's like
they celebrated Mary Tyler Moore, like a single woman by herself living, has a career. It was a hit show. They were celebrating it. This is the new culture. They got rid of the Beverly Hillbillies, Green Acres.
That was a decision of one man. Yeah. One man in charge of this. Taxi Driver is an example. I love that movie, but that movie was extreme.
Perfect example. You got Jodie Foster naked at 12 or something in that movie.
I mean, it's but everything that's being.
It wasn't shocking at all. It wasn't a big deal. It barely was even mentioned on when they would talk about this on the news. They wouldn't make a big deal out of those things because the idea of the early 70s was that we were an adjusted and advanced society in a way. So the idea was we're not going to blink at nudity or extreme violence. We're just going to move on. It's part of the art, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's the way I feel. That's what I see. They didn't make a big deal out of it. Nobody. Dog Day Afternoon was about a trans relationship. You guys. Nobody made a big deal and said, "Oh my gosh, can you believe that Al Pacino played a character who was in a relationship, in a gay relationship, or whatever it was?" It was not about that. All they talked about was the Attica part, right?
But Fester's making a point here. They've been doing things to us for years. The War of the Worlds broadcast with that Orson Welles broadcast. I mean,
he's right.
You know that wasn't funded by the government to see how we'd react. Even right before World War II.
That one is called Master of the World. You were just talking about them manipulating the weather, and H.G. Wells wrote a book called Master of the World that I think is about that.
Right? I think I just showed that comic.
Yeah, they can manipulate the weather. I have no doubt of that. But they can do a lot of things to us. They can make us put on masks for a couple of years. They can that do nothing. And then demonize us for even mentioning it. And
they can't take away our freedom in our minds and our souls.
They've done it with the vast majority of the population and proved that they can do it. Myers in a city where half the population still wearing those masks just to show they're down with the system.
But that's their choice. That's their choice now.
Well, is it their choice, or have they been programmed sheep?
It's their choice.
Well,
program or not, they're still consciously making that choice. I'm not. I'm over here. I'm enjoying my comics in my room and just hanging out with friends and the cool kids on the block and playing in the sandbox. Here's a killer Doom cover.
But then we're ignoring everything that's going on outside.
Who's ignoring it?
Well,
if I do this and don't talk about it, it's still the same result out there.
Yeah, I guess that's one way of looking at it. Boy, I always wondered why they disappointed me. Boy,
I wonder what. I love that movie. I used to watch it over and over when I could.
Dude, I'm like in pretty much every movie he's showing. Do you have customers that come in looking for VHS, Kevin?
Are these all VHS?
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yeah, VHS is now really popular and collectible. In fact, CGC will slab VHS now, believe it or not.
I love VHS.
I choose not to believe it.
It's true.
I didn't say that, but I still choose not to believe it.
The packaging design of some people are very nostalgic for it because of what they remember from Blockbuster and stuff.
That's how it is for me. I'm nostalgic. I love the design of the media. The packaging design is perfect to me. I just love it. It's better than in a CD.
And some of the horror movie some of the horror movie cassettes had the most lurid, beyond eerie publications kind of covers that
Yeah,
was
and
designed
they're
for the VHS that was never on, like the Gore Girls, all the Herschel Gordon Lewis movies. Those
Makes
covers
sense.
were insanely designed, but you only saw them in the seediest of stores. Here's Micah.
Micah.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey,
Hey, Mike.
Has anyone ever seen this before?
What is that?
now we're too small for me to tell. Let me make you bigger.
Difference.
That is what superheroes. Is that a role-playing game?
No.
Uh,
It's DC repackaged comics
oh,
Never
and,
seen it.
and then gave them away at transportation hubs, hotels.
I have
airports.
those. There's a blue one also, and a yellow one.
Oh, Mike's got another promo to show. Show Mo the promo.
okay. It's
Nice. I've never seen it.
does that mean it's bedtime? My phone.
Oh
didn't
no,
let me-
I gotta make a thumbnail.
Oh, okay. My phone. My wife put something on my phone when it's bedtime. It starts making up some little bedtime music. It's so embarrassing.
This
Kool-Aid
is
comics.
first appearance of Kool-Aid in comics,
Whoa. What year
Oh,
is
that's
that?
an important key.
1975.
That is a key right there.
I have to agree that to me that's more important than the first appearance of Deadpool. Honestly,
My question is there a Flavor Aid #1? Cheap Kool-Aid, Flavor Aid, nobody knows.
How low tier that comic would be by comparison to the Kool-Aid comic, you know.
I know.
did Goofy Grape ever get a comic book?
You go to check out with the Kool-Aid comic, and they go, "Well, do you want the generic one instead?"
What was that one with what were they called with the little plastic cups? The
What's
fruit.
that?
What was that drink called, you guys?
Oh yeah, wacky fruit or something like
I have
that.
a couple of those cups. I have the lemon head one and the orange one or the grape one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Is Gotham selling these movies?
I believe
This is
so.
a
Yeah,
this is a
everything
sealed,
you see is
sealed
for sale.
collection.
You guys also,
It's
did you
sealed
guys
collection. About.
do you
How
remember
much is
the first?
how much is the old King Kong?
Oh, the original one.
Not that 70s ripoff, but the yeah, that one. Oh, is it VHS?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I have these three.
Yeah.
That I have to admit that painting is really cool. That really did make you think like you were going to see something amazing.
Yeah, it did.
But see, the problem is Channel 8, the ABC affiliate where I was living near Dallas, 3 days before the 76 King Kong premiered, they knocked out the network programming for that evening and ran the original King Kong. And I'd never seen that before. And that so blew my mind. And then I saw a guy in a suit and he breaks the snake apart, that rubber snake. And that's the only dinosaur that he fought. And it's like, what? This is not what I saw. That's why I was so disappointed in that. It's all the fault of Mike Shapiro, the general manager of Channel 8, ABC affiliate in Dallas, Texas.
You ever seen a movie called Hotel New Hampshire? I think it's called, with Jodie Foster.
Yeah, it's a great book. I like the book's better than the movie. The book's good, John Irving.
I like the part where they drop the dumbbell and it opens the door and the dead guy falls out of the closet.
I've never seen that.
It's a very nice story. It's a good movie. It's Jodie Foster and Rob Lowe. But I'm telling you, the book is much better. But it's a nice story. It's a family. I don't know. It's good. It's pretty weird though. Also 70s stuff. There's incest. There's murder. There's politics. There's communism. A bunch of weird stuff.
There you go, Gratu. Everything you love.
That Blazing Saddles he held up, that'll never see the light of day on any network from now on.
Yeah, there was just something about the 1970s where they were able to push farther than anything else. National Lampoon, some of the stuff they put in National Lampoon, and I loved the National Lampoon up until about 1980. Everything after that was horrible, but they pushed it real far. Animal House. We love the movie Animal House. It's great. My wife doesn't like it, but there's this. Think about this. You may not have thought about this. You know how Tom and Jerry has the devil and the angel on either shoulder. Think about the situation where those appeared on the shoulders of what was his name of
Pinto.
Pinto. I mean, think about that. I don't even want to talk about out loud in 2023 on YouTube. It's like they were able to do that, and everyone just and the things they're able to get away with in Blazing Saddles and things have become so politically correct now.
Porky's.
Yeah.
The opposite direction.
Yeah.
I remember when Porky's was huge. That was the movie to see. Even when you were like any kid, if you could get in, they was touted as the movie for the coming of age kid.
And then Porky's 2 was huge too.
Yep.
A year or two later, it was giant as well.
I know that tallywhacker.
But, you can say, well, there's nothing we can do about the creeping. It's not even creeping now. They're force feeding all this Marxism on us. But what we can't do anything. We can at least get out there and volunteer and get people to vote and do something. We can't just say we can't. Gotta just ignore the fact that our country is going like by every minute.
You do it with your money. Stop buying everything. You see what happens with Fox, Budweiser.
Oh yeah, and that's happened. It's Budweiser's.
That's how we're going to do it now. We're going to stop buying their products.
Right. Well, we have to stop buying.
They can't stay in power. They can't stay in power. They don't have the money. That's what these idiots don't realize. That at some point, they're going to hurt the source of their power.
The money is not what they're after. They're after destroying our society. They don't want the money, or they'd be making good Marvel movies. They if they wanted the money, they'd be giving us what we want. They want to crash and degenerate.
You're preaching to the choir, brother. I got you. I know all of it.
But I got to talk about it because I can't ignore it, man. It's bad. I mean, I
used to talk politics a lot. I watch, I follow, but I don't like to talk about it that much anymore. It's too depressing.
Yeah, well,
I like to talk about uplifting things.
Yes, like what Gotham City showing here. That's uplifting. That's Creep Show, obviously.
Did you just dig that up?
Is that the mask from Creep Show? Like Happy Father's Day?
Has to be.
I would love to have
Here's
that
your cake, Bedelia, or whatever. What does he say?
I want my birthday cake, something like that.
I want my cake. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it a lot. That's cool. I like these new G.I. Joe figures. They're doing a good job.
So that's brand new.
Show mask.
Oh, what is that? What is that Frankenstein back there?
It looks like a garbage pail kid.
Yeah, it does.
Look, with hair. It's got rooted hair or something.
Is that something currently in production, Kevin?
No, it's a guy on Instagram that sells them.
Oh,
He's
cool.
He's a big rat fink guy. He sells these.
Try to get me his information sometime. What does he sell those things for?
I'm not sure. I got it a while back. Look up Junkyard Kid, I think his name is.
Okay.
You got to look him up on Instagram and check out his shit.
Okay.
He's a painter by trade. Like he can paint a car like nobody's business.
Oh, okay.
But he uses like that metallic paint a lot.
All right, so he's a car painter, yeah.
By trade, I think, but you should see his custom stuff, like his rat fink stuff.
Yeah. Well, I've been missing a lot of stuff in the chat here. You said, what is Night Tiger showing? I don't know what you were talking about, Micah. That was a long time ago. That was 14 minutes ago. I went to see the live taping of Mary Tyler Moore every Friday for a couple of years. I was at the taping of the last show. Good times. James L. Brooks was our family friend.
Wow.
Very cool guy.
That's very cool. Go away.
CGC will slab anything. The younger collect VHS like we collect books. It's Gotham showing some fantastic movies.
Yeah.
Go away says, yes, Ken, manipulating the weather. It's called geoengineering. Yeah, that's the word I can think of. Different than cloud seeding, which actually helps us. Is that Abraham Lincoln? Wow. Do they still sell Kool-Aid little packets you mix with sugar? I think they come in a different way that you mix it now. People who support the manipulation of humanity are often snarky about it. What were the drinks in the plastic containers? Flavor Aid or something along those lines?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay, I'm out, says Go Away. I was working in a grocery store around that time, so as a young adult, as one may say. Will Spaceballs ever be rebroadcast again? Iron Sheik is great.
Yes, it is.
I saw it on a channel called Laugh. It's kind of like Grit or MeTV. Spaceballs was on about a week and a half ago.
I remember when Spaceballs came out, I thought, why are they parodying Star Wars? That's something that's not current. I thought Mel Brooks must be out of touch, but Star Wars kind of came back. But, you know, the one time I laughed at Spaceballs was when the alien came out, the chest burster, and like the Froggy Evening Frog. I thought that was great, but I didn't laugh at that like I did Young Frankenstein or Blazing Saddles. I thought, what's happened to Mel Brooks? Maybe I'd like it now if I saw it. I'm kind of like Mikey. I hate everything.
I got a question. Did Charlton have many TV or movie property licensing?
Charlton got Hanna-Barbera for a while.
They had,
No, I mean like live action. Like live action. I know
they
they
had
had
You know, they got $6 million Man,
Bionic Woman.
It's true.
Space
Partridge Family.
1999. They were getting some
Partridge
big
Family,
shows in the mid 70s, and I don't know why those properties didn't go to Marvel or
they got Condor Man too. No,
Why-
wait, that was
or
Gold Key.
Gold-
That was Gold Key.
why
Sorry.
wouldn't Gold Key get $6 million Man, or maybe even Marvel? Because Marvel got Man from Atlantis. Why not get $6 million? I mean, I don't know.
I know, and then we didn't get any photo covers.
No, I don't think Charlton could even do a photo cover. I think they'd had the Partridge Family, I think, and the photos looked awful.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They could, yeah, their printing quality was not great.
Look at this drink. Look at how they market. Look at the marketing on this drink. I can't tell whether this is supposed to make me wake up or go to sleep. Look.
Eat, sleep, rave, and poop. What? Oh, repeat. Oh.
It's I guess it's called Surplus. But what is the name of this drink? Surplus, eat, sleep, rave, repeat.
Man, I don't know. I guess that's for rave party people.
Well, if you wake up in the morning, we'll know it's okay.
Is it like filled with caffeine and stuff, or?
It has that other stuff in it. It's got guarana and taurine, but it also has THCV in it. A cannabis infused beverage. So this is like a beer, but it has marijuana.
Only in San Francisco.
But it tastes like an energy drink.
Do you have to light it up?
No, you just drink it.
Okay.
This is the first one you've ever had. It's pretty good.
Gotham City
feeling a little
Comics
Marvel
has some John Goris stuff. Let me see that.
Oh, that's so cool. This is
I
John
want you to
Goris,
disseminate some stickers. Okay, so John Goris.
Dude, I would love some stickers.
Oh yeah, Ghost Tank 4. Guys, I don't know if you've watched his animation. If you just stream one video after another of John Goris on his channel, it'll put you into a state of just euphoria.
I totally agree. I could say the same thing about Damon Packard as well. You could just put it on Damon Packard's uploads and push play, and then you could just a good 8 hours of enjoyable entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
But John Gores is brilliant. I showed that his channel to my oldest son, and I said, "Look at this. This guy may be a genius." And he texted me back, "This guy is a genius."
Yeah,
Sure.
and it's like, and Damon Packard immediately said, "Oh yes, he's brilliant. He's a genius." It's like everyone knows him. At that point, I didn't really didn't know him. I think there's a documentary about film savants, and he's part of that documentary. They feature him, and I don't know what the name of it is. I got to figure out what that's called. I don't think it'll be hard to find that out. Look at all this stuff.
Oh, this
Is that some foreign
I've never seen
bootleg
it.
thing?
It's weird looking.
It was in that box of comics I got.
Oh, okay.
What is that other meme? Is that a meme figure? The This Is Fine, the trash dumpster? What is?
Yep.
Who put that out?
Yeah, he's in hell.
Yeah, I've never seen that. That's interesting that they made. So, are they going to do other ones? Did they do a Pepe or anything like that? Or they should do like classic meme vinyl figures. There's so many.
Did I miss a Pepe action figure?
No, he just showed that one, and that one is that's a meme. That's like a classic 4chan dog meme.
Yeah, Pepe the Frog. I didn't see that.
Huh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
cool.
Wow, I'd love that.
These are cool. These are all larger size, right? Or maybe 6
Quick
inches.
money.
Oh no, they're little. Okay. That's cool.
That's so great.
And no one under 30 knows what that is.
Right. That's exactly right.
Takes 3 licks.
It might be even higher than 30. I don't know
Yeah.
what that last year.
I was being generous.
Yeah. And every one of those stickers is an original piece of artwork. He doesn't print those.
He like wrapped him up in a comic book and sent him here.
Oh yeah, what was the comic book?
I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Oh,
It had to have been something newer.
wow. I haven't been keeping up with either Chris Speed or the Black Stormtroopers combing the desert.
In the movie Spaceballs, that's what he's talking about.
Oh, that drink should be canceled like Four Loko and juice with caffeine. I watch Pro2 videos completely, but fall asleep to some as well. Yeah.
I've never had a Four Loko, but I have had other cannabis drinks like this. I usually really like them, but this is the first one of surplus I've tried. What a terrible marketing idea. What is this even? What is that? Doesn't say anything. There's no logo. There's nothing. It just says things that contradict itself. Why would you want to drink it?
Yeah, I don't think that you're the target market.
You're right. That's what you just called. Thank you, Gratu. That's the answer. This is 25-year-olds see this and they're like, take my money, right?
But I thought rave parties were a thing of the past, unless that's come back.
I think you're right. It is a thing of the past, but I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It still happens.
There, HR Puffin stuff. Cool.
And they're all wearing masks. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Jimmy, the flute.
The Hanna-Barbera characters went through.
Yeah, these are all the ones
they were Gold Key, they were Charlton, they were Marvel.
This isn't Hanna-Barbera.
Oh, look at!
I know that isn't, but I was just thinking about Hanna-Barbera because you showed that earlier.
Do you want all these also, Micah? Are you looking at these and you're like, oh, okay, I want that too? That bingo right there from Banana Splits.
Well,
Oh yeah, cool.
I have to be very, very cautious and selective. Otherwise, I would get a bunch of stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
now That's from Savoir Faire is everywhere. Oh yeah.
Right, Klondike Cat.
Yes, yes. That is awesome.
How about this lineup? High Adventures.
Let me see what you got there.
Oh, I want to get that
Oh,
someday.
the characters from Banana Splits.
Musketeers. That's the people from Banana Splits, right? Yeah.
Right. But
May 69.
I don't remember ever liking those cartoons that the Banana Split showed. They like had the worst cartoons. And
I love Danger Island. Tongo. That one with Dan Michael. Remember?
Dr. Shrinker.
Oh, Dr. Shrinker. You're right.
Schleppcar. What's his name? Speed Buggy.
Speed Buggy. Mm-hmm. I loved them all. I loved all that stuff. Saturday, if I could, even if we were out of town, even if I'm staying in a hotel or at my aunt's house, I'm still getting up at 6:30 and watching Saturday morning.
Sigmund the Sea Monster.
Right.
The Bungalows.
Now I'm wanting to go watch some Klondike Cat, man.
I liked Lidsville. Anything with Charles Nelson Riley, I'm a fan of that right there.
Oh, that's a great Batman too.
Oh. The Bugaloos was a comic book from Charlton. What did you show there at Night Tiger?
Gold Key Spotlight.
Oh, yeah. There's so many. What is it? What's the spotlight on?
Tom, Dick, and Harriet.
Yeah, I think that was a cartoon, but I don't remember that cartoon.
Do you remember in the 70s when there were a couple attempts to make like primetime family animated situation comedies? Like there was that one about the Roman holidays, and there was another one, Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. Remember that one?
Yeah, that one was prime time. I think Roman Holidays was Saturday morning, though.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Top Cat was the second primetime animated.
I love Wait Till Your Father Gets Home.
Wait Till Your Father Gets Home.
Flintstones, Johnny Quest were all prime time.
In the Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, the teenage daughter holds up this dress, and it is practically, you can see her behind the dress.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, why can't I wear this? I was so young, I had to be explained to me what a see-through dress was.
It was kind of like the Dave Berg's Lighter Side. Remember that? Remember in Mad Magazine, Dave Berg did that thing, Lighter Side, which I later found out that a lot of those people in that strip were members of his family. Those girls were his daughters, and like he was like writing about stuff that he was experiencing as a dad in the 50s and 60s, I think.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of Matt. A lot of people aren't a fan of that. They think it's dry or boring. I read every Lighter Side, every Dave Berg, every panel. I love his work. He drew girls incredibly. Remember how hot those girls were? Yeah. Mini skirts and everything. Remember how you would draw the hippie girls and all that? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and it was
oh, there's something. Wow.
Oh yeah, wow. Let's blow that up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now, this came in the collection with all those Western books, or am I wrong?
You're right, I think.
Yeah, Kevin, just put that in my $5 pile, sure.
This is amazing. I've never seen this before. Take your time.
Yeah, that's really in nice shape too.
Man, look at how white it is. Look at that.
Yeah.
What year is this, Kevin? Do you know?
That's got to be 48, I'm guessing.
I was guessing 46.
Wow.
47.
Oh, we're in between.
Yeah.
But see, all these people would have that slabbed, and you would never be able to see inside of it. That's one of those things I really don't like.
Buy like a Golden Age omnibus and you read the story, you can read that, but it's not going to smell or feel the same, and you're not going to get that Green Arrow story or the ads. It's not going to be. It'll never be
very good, very good. Plus,
This is the first appearance of the giant penny in the Batcave.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
That's important.
I don't know if I'm lowballing it. Could it be fine? It's just, to me, it was very good plus.
No, it's not fine. It's VG plus, but maybe
Okay.
It's like a 4.5.
Yeah.
it's like a 3.0.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Wow, is that
Ooh,
square bound? Is it square bound? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it should be a lot of pages.
Was
of it.
World's Finest always square bound in that time period?
Yeah, I
Wow,
believe so.
I don't remember.
I don't
All
think
the
I've ever
ones I
seen them.
have are.
I've never seen them like this in person. Look, this is cool, man. Thank you, Kevin, for showing us this.
It kind of gives you chills.
Yeah.
Great ad there. Man.
But that's the thing. People say, well, I'll just read them online and I'll keep them slab, but you're not getting those ads.
Yeah.
At least I
The
assume
thing,
you
the
don't.
smell and feel and all the backup stories, the whole thing. The experience is completely different. Not the same experience. I love this. I love Red Rider and Little Beaver. It's just really good stuff. Good stories.
Yeah.
Fred Harmon.
Hey, Grot, too. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here.
Oh, okay.
Appreciate you having me on.
Sure. Take care.
Nice hanging out with you fellers and on the playground with the cool kids.
Well, I don't know about that. I think
Mike, talking to you, and you have incredible books and great insights. Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah, and I always love your enthusiasm about them.
Okay, gentlemen, you have a good night. We'll talk to
All
you
right,
later.
take care.
See you later, man.
Hope I didn't chase him off with my politics.
no, he
So
agrees with us. He just doesn't want to talk about it. So
I know, but I can't keep from talking. I've got to be like Paul Revere or John the Baptist or something. I gotta if I have a platform, I can't just not ever mention it. It's just because I've never seen anything like this. I never thought I would. I can't believe what I'm seeing every time I become aware and turn on the television, the computer. Anyway, it's but anyway, other than that, it's everything's wonderful. Um, uh,
I thought you'd be watching a certain person
oh
who's in Iowa right now. So
no, he got there was a tornado watch. Oh, he said he just sent me. You didn't piss me off about politics. Yeah, I don't want to. I just don't want to run people off that are guests. Anyway, it was great to have you on, Night Tiger. No, the weather got real rainy, and then the sun came out, but there was still a tornado watch until 7 o'clock, and so they didn't want a tornado to touch down in the crowd, which you know how they would crucify him about that.
you bet you they
Had
would.
the rally, even though there was a tornado watch.
Yeah.
So they had to scrap the rally. So yeah, I planned to watch it, and so I was disappointed. And I had planned to do this stream with Night Tiger tomorrow night. I reached out to him and said, "You want to do a stream sometime?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm free Sunday night." Then he said, "No, I've got to work Sunday." He called me earlier. And he said, "Can we? I'm free tonight." And I said, "Could we do it after 9 o'clock?" Because he says, "Any reason why?" I said, "I want to watch the Trump rally." And then the Trump rally was canceled. I said, "Well, let's do it at 6." And anyway,
Hey, Kevin.
I
know it's probably way out of the range, but I'm curious. How much are those? That one and the one on the fire truck.
yeah, I wanted to hear that too, Mike. And the one that you just showed that was 150. What was the condition? Is it this? What's the condition like?
150? Okay, good.
Missing back cover on this one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm interested in the same thing. Thank you for asking, Micah. I was interested in that as well.
Oh, colors are good.
Prices and conditions is interesting. Even if I can't afford it, I want to know.
Right.
yeah.
I had this one priced at 150. The last one was 250.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. These are pretty nice from that time period.
Yeah. So do you think this that Arizona has something to do with preservation of comics, Kevin? Like the stuff that you receive and that because of the dry, there's no humidity. What do you think?
Don't leave them outside.
Well, I think it has something to do with it. I'm in
Yeah, as long
Missouri.
as it's
We
been
got
air
tons of
conditioning
humidity.
the whole time, or right? Because they're
I don't
really
have. We never have rusty staples here.
right.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And if you keep your books in your closet here, it pretty much stays the same temperature the whole time.
That's what I'm thinking, and so that's why that's possible. That's part of why the stuff looks this way.
I could
Because
tell if it's been in their garage or if it's been inside. I could tell.
there's no drastic temperature changes from season to season, like stuff back east, where the paper is being exposed to even if it's in the garage or the attic, still getting freezing temperatures and then sweltering heat 6 months later, back and forth for decades. But that doesn't change in Arizona. It's going to be always a constant, pretty much.
Inside, yeah, because
Yeah, as long as it's inside.
you have your AC in the summer, and you don't really use anything in the winter.
So, Kevin, how long do you think you'll hold on to these? Do you suspect somebody's going to come in the next few days and grab them up, or
No,
you think you might have to hold them for 5-6 months, or go to eBay, or?
if I went to eBay, I'd probably have to slab them first.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Man, my phone is listening to me and like creating text messages to send to people.
Mine started doing that too, is making up the words that it thought I was going to say.
Well, hold on. Let me show you my phone. Stay where you're at so we don't miss any of the comic. I just want to. I was looking to text my wife, and she was talking about the air conditioner and stuff. And then there's a message ready for me to send to her. Touch my comics. I like to read them online because I don't know Tiger is reading the books and I'm not sure for sale portion. And it's ready for me to press the button and send it to my wife, which I could have accidentally done. And then she would have thought I was completely out of my mind. And I guess that's something I was saying, sort of.
Yes. Yeah, you were saying similar things. Yeah.
And that's bullshit. The phone shouldn't be creating text messages. That could be being sent to someone's boss.
Right.
That's what?
Yeah, I really don't like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Your wife says, how was work today? Oh, they don't know what they're doing down there at the plant, And the next thing that goes.
Absolutely. This is bullshit. I'm sorry, but the more and more, I'm sorry, I can't not get upset about the modern world.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me make you bigger again. Sorry, we want to see that book, not us.
This is some Green Arrow. Is this Jack Kirby Green Arrow? What does this look like?
Oh,
no. But Kirby was on Green Arrow right around this time period, right?
That. I would just be guessing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that he did work on Green Arrow.
Was it right there in the blue? Oh. Was it right there? Right? Nope, no, on the other side, the right. Go up just a little bit. I guess not. I thought I saw there, right there in the. Oh no! I was hoping that was a signature. That's just like the brickwork. Okay. Well. I would guess not Kirby.
No, I would too. I agree with you. So these are like 68-page books. Is that right, Kevin? Does it seem like?
Seems like it.
Look at this Batman story. Yeah.
Maurice Del Burgo was the artist for that Green Arrow.
Okay, I had to leave for a second. What's going on?
Nothing. It just seems to be some dead air. Just some slight dead air.
I looked up the Green Arrow, and it was Maurice Del Burgo.
Yeah, that's what I got a few new toys. You guys want to look at some stuff? I mean, some stuff that you guys. I really like this. Do you have this, Scott? Too? This
Yes,
70s?
I do. I got that when it came out in like the early 70s.
Me too, and I loved it for a while. So for a while, this was my only. This is probably my first Batman figure. Like I had this before the Mego one that had the removable cowl, right?
Right. I got that right before that came out too. But I think my colors might be a little bit more comic accurate on mine.
This one's really like maybe it's faded. It's kind of beat up.
Could be. It seems like it's more gray than purple, his suit on mine. And I have the Robin with his arms crossed too, and a Superman breaking chains.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have either of those. I have the other ones. I have the Superman doing the transformation and just standing there, right? You know.
Yeah, I have that one. Although that looks a little different from my Robin.
These are new. These are from 1989. These came out in 89. Must have been because the movie was coming out, so they were making Batman merchandise.
Yeah.
It's the world's finest.
Yeah, those are cool.
Oh wow.
Great stuff.
So they're playing it. That's the equivalent of them playing a video game, right?
Yeah.
That looks like one of the games that they used to have here at Playland, where everything, and they had them in Lake Tahoe when I was a kid too. 76 pages. Did you guys ever see those? It would be like a game. It was a horse racing game called Steeplechase, and you would have to mash down on a button to make the horses jump. Or do you have one of those, Gratu?
No, I just remember the old arcade games before video games came in.
That's what I'm talking about.
I remember a game where you shot torpedoes at a submarine. It was later turned into a video game, but I remember it was originally electromechanical with a lot of black light.
Right.
And you were looking through a periscope and shooting. But I remember games where they had live animals in them, where you'd put in a quarter or something or a dime, and this rabbit would wake up and put on his fireman outfit and get in a fire truck and go put out a fire that was projected on the wall in this, or there would be one with a dancing hen or something. It was just, I guess you'd put in a quarter and it would probably heat up the floor under the bird or the rabbit and make it go do something and then get a treat at the end. But I've never heard anyone talk about these games. I guess they're games. They were in arcades. They were at places like where we went to on vacation.
Yeah, I've never heard of that with the live animals.
That may have been a Texas thing, but there's got to be someone that remembers that.
There were places here that had all those old arcade games all the way up into the mid 70s, probably. There was a place that was a really weird. I don't know if I told you guys this before, but my mother used to be a gambler. Like she really loved gambling. And so I spent a lot of time in Lake Tahoe when I was a little kid. Yeah. And there was this, it was like a daycare center or like a recreation center for kids, but it was a lockdown one. And it was connected to Harrah's, which was a big casino in Lake Tahoe. Okay. And the only kids that were in there were the kids of degenerate gamblers and maybe the children of like dealers or pit bosses or something. And you were locked down inside here. You were like stuck in here. Once your parents signed you in, you couldn't get out until they came back and got you. But inside here, they had all those old games, a snack bar, and a little miniature movie theater, like a movie theater that was for kids. And that's where I first saw Jason and the Argonauts. They showed all kinds of like films that you might have seen like on television, but you were seeing them inside of a casino mini movie theater just for kids. And it was a trippy place, but it had all those games like what we're talking about.
The best
manual,
documentation.
you
The
know,
best
like-
documentation. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the best documentation of an old arcade on film is in the movie The Courtship of Eddie's Father.
Mm-hmm.
They go to Ron Howard. Little Ron Howard wants to go into this arcade, and his dad takes him in there, and it's an arcade as it would be in the early '60s, and with the shooting games and everything.
Right.
You know, pinball, whatever. But it's pretty great. That it's worth watching that movie just for that bit. I'll be able to be on just for a little bit longer, but I've got to go do something real quick. You guys can stay on, and I'll watch the comic remotely. I just gotta I've got to brush my teeth. So if you guys mind, just don't start like a satanic mass or anything, or start cursing at each other. I'm just kidding. Don't get my channel banned. While one time I left that guy from Canada on when I had to go I had to run, and he starts showing this comic and making fun of it. And he says, "Yeah, the lady that put this out, she likes to sue people that make fun of her comic book. And why did you do that on my channel?" Well, I don't think she'll ever see it.
Yeah, I remember. I saw that happening in real time.
You saw that happen? It's like, why would you do that? That was the beginning of me getting angry at that.
I was watching as that was happening. I think that was like the beginning of me. That was the beginning of me becoming a regular on your show.
Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah. I need to go back and watch those. I'll be right back.
I love this stuff right here. This is some of my favorite era. I love reading these reprints, but I've never seen them like up close and personal like this, the originals.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Look at how much text there is here.
Yes.
And this is all just exposition for an adventure story that's crime based. There's nothing real spectacular here. It's not like Jim Starlin. It's not like it's talking about transcendental meditation or Christianity, or it's not Silver Surfer. It's
76 pages of this. You really got a lot of story for your dime.
Mm-hmm. Big time. You really did.
We lost Kevin.
We lost
when that happens, it goes back to the host.
Yeah. So how has your day been today, Mike? Have you had a nice Saturday? Today's Saturday, isn't it?
Well, we needed to put some little paneling in our camper, and so I was cutting that and putting that into position. Then I had to mow the backyard, and I overdid it, I guess. So I've been taking it easy since then.
Okay.
Gratu, we lost Kevin, and when that happens,
I see that.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can hang out for a second, see if he comes back. There he is. I was downstairs. I saw that happen. I thought, oh, boy.
Don't worry. Meyer and I kept them very entertained by telling how I mowed a lawn. I'm sure that thrilled everybody. It's an electric mower, Meyer. have the stupid electric cord. You don't have to dodge.
Am I back on now?
You sir are.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be a great book.
I just joined a group on Facebook that's a model kit group.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, all the stuff in there.
So this is a book, not a magazine that we're looking at?
This is a book.
Okay.
Very nice.
All right. So this catalogs everything from the beginning with pictures and stuff?
Looks like it has everything.
This looks great. It's a very nice looking book. I haven't seen this. Gratu would probably like this as well, obviously. He would be
Good
interested.
reference.
Yeah, yeah. What a time this was, right? This was just a thing that doesn't exist at all anymore. This is a part of being a boy that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Going to the model shop and buying a model, going back home and spending the day building it with your friend, and then that's it. Oh, remember that vampire? Yeah, the kids don't do this anymore. This was a summer activity for me and my buddy. We would walk to this store called Sprouse Reets, and it was like a mile from my house and in the downtown area. And it was like what would you call it? Like a dime store. It was just a dime store. And it was only it would be like $1 for one of these airplane or tank models or something at this point. So it wouldn't take much to scrounge enough money to go buy a model and then come home and build it. And that's what we would do. Wow, look at that.
I have memories of me and my dad putting together an airplane. I couldn't tell you the designation, but it had those shark teeth on the nose. We had a little decal, and we put them shark teeth on. So you know what I'm talking about, like the Flying Tigers or something. Yeah.
Tomcat, maybe a Mustang or a Tomcat, something like that.
Sounds right. I wish I still had that.
Yeah, that's what we used to build a lot of. We used to build a lot of German planes, Japanese planes, American. It was all World War II stuff was what was most popular at the time.
Probably.
American planes. That's what we built mostly. And then also like muscle cars or the funny cars. Any of these funny car models, we used to buy these as well. The George Barris looking crazy stuff.
I don't know, Meyer, if you've seen my video with Joe Morton. I go through his house. He collects all the horror. You've seen it? Okay. He had a
great.
He had a Walmart figure of a Christmas caroler, and he popped the head off and put the head of the young Frankenstein. The name escapes me. The guy that played the dad on Everybody Loves Raymond. Yeah, I'm getting old.
Peter.
Yeah. So, because I was asking him, who's that? I don't recognize that. And he told me, and all of a sudden it made sense. But that would be fun to mix and match and make your own. We call them Frankensteins. Make your own, figuratively, I guess, too. Anything you put together, it becomes a Frankenstein. So you take a Superman body, but then you paint him blonde or make him, the Warlock from Marvel.
That's a great idea. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on.
All right.
I have an example to show you of that.
And by the way, Kevin, feel free to tell us how much these things cost. Maybe somebody in the crowd will contact you at a future date and want some of that.
This book is $30.
Okay.
All right, so here's what I did with this. I have this this Blackbeard model that Kevin showed me a couple days ago,
All right.
and I've had it for a long time. And then I have these pirate figures that I have, and
Yeah.
in this series of pirate figures, there's one of them that is the ghost of Captain Kidd, where the whole figure is glow in the dark, like green plastic, right? But it's
Okay.
like $300. It's super rare. So I don't have that one. So instead, I decided to use this Blackbeard and paint him like a ghost.
I see.
He's
Yeah.
kind of a light blue, and there's light blue, light green.
Okay.
So I want him to look kind of like a Scooby-Doo ghost, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. So yeah, it's like doing something different than was intended with the model, just like you're saying,
Right.
like turning something into something else, like making it look like something that it wasn't supposed to look like.
Yeah, and you can imagine years and years later, someone's going through your stuff after you're long gone, and they go, "Let's see if we can identify this piece, see how much it's worth." And they search and search and search and never find it.
On away. Exit now.
Uh-oh. I see he's been on for 3 hours and 40 minutes. Have you been with him that long?
Maybe no, I haven't. I've only been here maybe 90 minutes.
Okay.
Did you get the unlimited subscription thing?
Yeah. Jackson Roykirk says, for me to behave myself.
Here's this pterodactyl, right? It was supposed to look like this, right? But I painted him to kind of look like Terry. I wanted him to be blue to look like the pterodactyl from Pee Wee Herman.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That works. And Easy Comic Reader gave you a compliment. He said, "That is awesome, Meyer." I think
Oh,
he's
what?
talking about you're a pirate, probably.
Pirate. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to put I wanted to hang this. So I built this to hang it from fishing line from the ceiling to kind of look like the way Terry did on the Pee Wee Herman show. Because my house kind of looks like a Pee Wee Herman house, right? You know, it's filled with toys and stuff like that. And so I thought this would be kind of a little inside joke. It's kind of like Terry, but it's actually like a reissue of an old Aurora model, but painted blue to look more like, you know, the way that the color that he is in the show. But still like a pterodactyl, you know,
Sure.
not like a cartoon.
I would probably, given that same scenario, I'd probably try to make him look like the pterodactyl from Johnny Quest. That intro opening.
I love that so much. That's like one of my favorite DVD sets. If you just get the first season of Johnny Quest on DVD and it's like $10 on Amazon or something, it's like super good, man. It's still
A long time ago, I found a bunch of them on YouTube, and I downloaded them, put them onto a disc for my son. So they're not crystal clear, but everything's there, you know.
You put one on YouTube?
Oh, we're talking about Johnny Quest. Back then, you could find a lot of good stuff on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could.
I think
Gotham got in his car and he had to leave, I guess. So
okay. The Aurora. Oh, he's back. The Aurora Allosaurus model kit, I think, was the inspiration for that green dinosaur in Toy Story.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
well.
That's
I think so. I think it was, because it had all the same parts that move.
right. They look the same too. They did have the same parts, and so those models in particular, those dinosaur models and the caveman models that came out at that time were. Remember how I told you the other day I used to play with my Dr. Zaius model like it was a figure?
Yeah.
Those were the ones that really you played with, like dinosaurs and caveman. I mean, I did.
Yeah.
And yeah. You made them, and then they became action figures that were just static.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run here in a minute. Now, Kevin, you said you tried to do a live stream earlier today through YouTube, but it didn't work.
Was that today? No, that was yesterday.
Or maybe that was just, yeah, I lose track of time. I don't know how that works through YouTube. It used to be you had to have a certain number of subscribers to do that, but
No, it lets me do it on my phone, but it didn't save the video though.
well, that may be why you need to probably use some outside thing like StreamYard. But I don't know anything about computers really.
And it lets me send out invites too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. But I probably need to run because I've been on a long time, and that doesn't go over real well with the wife on a Saturday night. I'd planned to do this tomorrow night, but he had to, Night Tiger had to work. But I will appear soon.
Okay.
I guess I got 2 subscribers tonight, so I guess things went well.
Oh,
Right. Take care, everybody. I'll see everybody
All right.
soon. Bye.
See you guys later.